the ball up. James Hurd has got the old mattress around the thigh. Dennis Committee to call the action. Friday night football, Bombers and Carlton.
And away we go. Bit happening in the square as well. Kurtafidis immediately gets a hand pass to Lappin. Probing kick well inside the 50. Whipple claim to mark. Ambitious. Jams it on the boots. Well, umpire goes a long way. It's a behind.
Almost 2 weeks in a row, a goal within 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Wonderful sign, though. Great sign, because Carlton won the ball in the midfield in their first two games, first two losing games, but they just haven't been able to get a shot on the board once they get in there.
Here's Fletcher. Driving kick. Well outside the 50. French. Oh, what a good grab. Wants to go. Can't. It was a good kick. Equally good mark. He's just forward of the wing as he chips down towards half forward. Houlihan about 55 metres out. Kevin Sheedy says payback for 1999. Got to be a statute of limitations on motivation, surely. Down towards the pocket. Fletcher punched it away. McVeigh. Jason Johnson knocked towards the boundary. Favola kept it alive. Johnson again. Houlihan claimed and across the line.
And there it was. We, for the first time tonight, saw the big fist of Dustin Fletcher come into action. He has got Brendan Favola as his opponent. And Sean Wellman has picked up Adrian Hickmott. Had a great night last week, 5 goals.
The throw in. Up goes Big French, tapped it beautifully to the back. Chance for Camporelli over towards Little. Oh, he's grabbed high, he'll get the free kick. And Lance, who's been off the boil.
Thanks, Danny. Nice head.
From outside 50. Let's see if we can load one up here. Probably should have kicked the first snap at goal, Dermot.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought it would have been that difficult for him.
From 52 metres, he gives it a good hoik up towards the goal square. It's offline. Favola couldn't hold the mark. It's over the line and through for his second behind of the night.
James Hurd has started cross half forward. Beaumont, his opponent. Simon Beaumont probably has as good a record against James Hurd as any player in the competition.
Fletcher to Solomon. Deep in the pocket. Driving kick up towards the wing. Carlton have got the numbers, but a terrific mark is taken by Jacobs. He comes up brandishing the footy. Needed to. It was 2-on-1. Right on the wing in front of our commentary position. Carlton with 2 behinds on the board. Barnard barely 15.
He's going to like this matchup against Lappin. He'll give him latitude.
Rioli barely 15. Ditto.
Got a feel for Thornton at full back. He's up against Matty Lloyd here, and that's going to be a big ask.
Super duper flood. It's been raining till 3 o'clock this afternoon, but the flood is on at the MCG. Don't worry about that.
Just crossed the ground.
Lance Whitmore and Kurtafidis right in amongst it.
Wellman, high ball inside the 50. Franchina, big leap. Kurtafidis the crumb. Peverill stood his ground. Ramanauskas, sweeping hand pass. Here's a chance for Mark Johnson. Well, he didn't get it too sweetly. Just under the knee, I'd suggest.
Some things look very simple in football, but that handball back into the space is the...
Oh, well, there you go.
Is that the handball into the space?
Yeah, well, that's self-explanatory, that one.
Yes.
But that handball back from Ramanauskas into space to Johnson, supreme.
Throw in. Barnard a little bit in the back of Lappin there. Umpire didn't see it. Hill goes a second time. Into the goal square. This is dangerous. Good play for Carlton there by Thornton. Got it away from Lloyd in the danger zone. Outside 50. Throw in. That's a win for the Carlton defence.
Begs the question, why would a player do that? That's going to be a big story next week.
I wonder whether it was a fist or whether it was a forceful forearm push. I'd like to have a look at it again. I don't reckon the fist went in. I think it was bad at first sight, but I'd like to see it again.
I'm tipping you will. Throw in at forward 50. Wiggins. Umpire's picked one out here. In the way of Carlton. Sorry, the Bombers, in fact. And the free kick will go to Hill outside 50. So big Hill, Beaumont. Be careful not to go over the mark there. Be a 50-metre penalty.
They've absolutely jammed in here, Carlton, into the Essendon forward 50.
Hill, a thumping kick up towards the goal square. Won't be on line, and getting back and taking the mark there is Houlihan. He plays on. Good kick. Quick rebound from fullback. Out it comes, and the mark's been taken by Fisher. Played well last week. Gets the handball working to Wait. A couple of rookies there for the Carlton side. Up towards Lance Whitmore. Punched away by Jacobs. Great play by Murphy. Hit the pack hard, running front and square. Up to Favola. Over the head of the pack, though. Who's there for Carlton? No one. Can't pick up the ball as Rioli. He heads towards the boundary line. Wellman flicks it out to Fletcher, and the Bombers relieved.
Under pressure. Straight to Whitnell. just inside the attacking 50. Short. Did it go to 15? Yes, Kudafiti is so busy early. He's marked about 40 metres out, almost directly in front.
Yep, not there, no.
It only went about 3 metres wide and maybe 1 metre forward of where the original mark was taken.
Line there. There's the mark, okay?
Lance Whitnell started well on Jacobs. That potentially could have been his third shot at goal inside the first 5 minutes of the game. It was a good decision to go to Kuda. Rioli looks to be his opponent.
They seem to be fired up, the Blues. Kudafiti's doesn't get it too sweetly either. Out to the right, misses by quite a margin. They lead by 3 points.
They can't afford that, the Blues, to miss those opportunities, especially from the big-name players. 3 points, but a promising start for Carlton. Fletcher from one step kicks a mongrel punt, if you like, but it's gone 50 metres. Rioli shows a bit of muscle. Good play by Whitnell inside to Houlihan. Usually he's deadly. On this occasion, he lives up to his reputation. He gets the first.
Well, that's what they want from young Houlihan, is to start to score some goals. And Eddie called it beautifully. That's a good hit from Dean Rioli on Barnaby French, I think it was, but he gets some opportunities, he's got to take them, and sometimes they're only half opportunities, and this one is just a very skillful finish from Ryan Houlihan, and they have started well. The Blues started very well indeed.
So Carlton, the underdogs, lead it by 9 points. Back in the middle, hit Hill on the way down. Jason Johnson didn't get boot to ball. Mark Johnson put the body in. Hume could have been taken high. Franchina also. So to Peverill eventually kicks down towards half forward. Lucas gathers the bouncing ball. Ramanauskas off balance. Really see that. Flicking it on Lloyd. Taken by Barnard. Fumbled initially by Lucas. Good tackle. Got him down. Spawn. Chance for Camporelli. Down he goes. Not Smith and Brown there. Camporelli and Ramanauskas. And we've got a boundary throw in.
To have a replay of the earlier incident. Oh. Gary?
No,
Take it back.
The benefit of the doubt is shrinking.
Yes. Why would you do that? I still ask the question. More cameras here than Tokyo Airport. You go and do that.
It is a silly move.
I reckon he opened his hand. I'm with your first opinion, Gaz.
Oh, I hope he did for Matthews.
Well, so do we all.
Does it make any difference? Hill gets the tap. Chance for Barnard. He picks it up. Good play. Out to Lucas. Ducks his head. Trying to take them on. Almost gives it up again. Good play, McPhee to Hurd. Hurd's kick was a beauty out in front. Chance now to run on. Here he comes. Lloyd gets the handball inside. Johnson. That's Jason Johnson. Miscued on the handball on that occasion. Cupido goes to ground. A little bit wet underfoot. Not used to that playing up together. And he's gone. And a free kick goes the way of Carlton. And Jared Waite.
Great tackle. Great tackle. Can give a free kick away easily in that situation.
Well, we'll say that was a beautiful kick and give him the benefit of the doubt. Houlihan's one is exactly that. No, went on the full, just a little bit too wide. And Fletcher made Favola earn it. And in fact, the umpire's taken it off him for doing so.
Experienced umpire.
3 free kicks to Carlton, 1 to the Bombers. Favola thumps it in. Chance for Whitnell. Shepard's at the front. Good play. And the Blues will have their 4th shot on goal in this game so far. And Fletcher gave up the free kick, and the chance for Brad Fisher, who kicked 1 goal last week on debut. Here's the free kick. Well, there was nothing there.
Free kick you'll see this round.
There just wasn't anything there.
No. And Dean Solomon, I mentioned he's been a great addition after injury. He does give his players a chance at getting the footy, and he just didn't go with Fisher on that occasion.
Well, this is a gift for Carlton. And Fisher kicks his 2nd of his career.
They're actually gloving them pretty well overhead. Barnaby Jones has taken a good one-take mark
Barnaby
overhead.
Jones.
Barnaby Jones. I've gone back to 70s TV. Barnaby French.
He's been marked by Starsky and Hutch.
Well, that's Starsky kicking in there.
Beretta's coming on.
Beretta. Barnaby French has been marked well. That was too.
He's under house arrest.
Margin 15 points. Friday night football. Camporelli didn't get away. Waite does though. Kicks inside the 50 again. A lot of pressure on the Bombers. Falls to Jacobs. Swings it out wide. McVeigh barking the instructions as he goes. From the defensive 50. Rioli slid. Camporelli took him on. Close to the boundary line. Rioli up towards the wing. Spawn got fingertips to it. McPhee over the footy. Koutafidis did well. Hickmott kicks down towards half-forward. Bounces right on the line. As a result, took a deflection. After it goes Fletcher. Whitnell slides in. Slaps it. The bowler. This will need to be special. And it is. What a wonderful goal.
Like last week, Carlton are winning the ball in the centre. They've gone inside forward 57 times. And Essendon have only gone in 3 times, but the difference is they're getting shots on goal already in round 3, where they weren't in rounds 1 and 2 for their entries inside 50. So this is good play here. They're doing very, very well. They're working pretty hard around the packs. Good play by Lance Whitnell, made the path there.
Well, Kevin Sheedy said that payback for 1999. The Blues, just like they did that day, have come out smoking tonight. 21 points in front. Cooter's had 5 possessions already. Hurd gets his second. This is it. Twisting and turning out of trouble. He just flicked the handball out. Franchina wanted it. He wanted a lot more. In goes Rioli, who was tripped. And will take the free kick.
Now the Blues have got a winner in the forward line with... You heard the explanation with... Whitnell's had 4 possessions, and as you made mention,
with his name. Hold up.
Cooter's had 5 in the middle.
Rioli's kick is up towards Lucas. Does it well on the turn. Kicks it up to the forward 50. Ramanaskas for the Bombers. Beaumont for the Blues. In goes Hilly, overran it. Nice play by French. Out it comes again now. Here's Waite from centre half back. Thumps it along. Favola's got the set. No, it wasn't. It was Wiggins, in fact. Wellman picks it up. Looks upfield, not much to go for, so he finds the boundary line and does it magnificently. There'll be a throw in a true half-forward flank position for the Blues.
Carlton forward line doing very well at not giving Essendon backs what they want. They are taking them to positions that they are not familiar with or as comfortable with. They want to play conventional backline footy, the Bombers, and Carlton are taking them all over the park.
Tossed in, down towards left half forward. Hill, Koutafidis, ghosting in. Fisher. Forward of the wing, inside the 50. Rioli with courage will get a free kick. He started well. Across the ground. Peverill running hard. Tracks it outside the defensive 50 to midfield. Wellman dropped it. Time to recover. Barnard, no, wide of him. McPhee inside the centre square. Probing kick, going back with courage. Beaumont.
Great man.
Lacks none of that. Good grab over the head of Fisher. He can still run onto this. Hume didn't help him much. Fisher's got it. Jams it on the boot very high. In from the side. Rioli gave a contest. Spills to Cupido. Back to the middle once more. Solomon alongside the centre circle. Goes to Hurd. Inside the centre square. Finds a man in Lucas. 40 metres out. Slight angle.
Young Fisher was very composed out here in front of us. He did a beautiful job, summed it up beautifully, and then just banged it up in the air, and that was the ensuing contest. And Cupido, full of class, swung it back in the middle. From that point on, they were in trouble, the Carlton backs. They had it in the middle of the ground, plenty of options, and Lucas only knows one way, and that's straight at the footy.
Pretty still night. Lucas. Lovely kick. They get there first.
And they needed it, the Bombers. Carlton had jumped them in that first 8 minutes or so, and they really needed a settler, and it was a contested ball across the centre wing that could have gone either way. That was critical. Just here, sums it up well, Fisher. Comes under some pressure from Johnson, played it to his own advantage, but it was his kick here that was just a mess. He had 2 players on, had Barnaby French and Hickmott, and he banged it up in the air, and then this kick here, that's the kick that sets the goal up. Beautiful left foot from Cupido.
So 15 points to difference. Bombers on the board. 40 disposals, Essendon, for 1 scoring shot. Carlton 34 for 6 scoring shots. So the efficiency the way of the Blues early in this first quarter. We'll have a secondary bounce.
Yeah, if you have a look now, that's the Kevin Schutte-led Essendon Brains Trust. In Carlton's forward line, they're all pushing up into the middle, and Hickmott's trying to get Wellman one out inside forward 50.
Hurd's had a couple of very important touches. That was a good one from Lloyd as well. Lucas, the big names combining for the Bombers. It slips out the back to Rioli. He can line up for goal. He does, and he puts it right through the middle. Bombers are back.
No problems at all with James Hird either, because they've had, well, I think James Hird calls it himself. He calls it himself these days. He just wandered into the centre when they were under some pressure. Plenty of bodies around the ball. If you've got a badly corked thigh there, you'd be a bit loath to get in there, but the skipper's right in the middle of it, gets an important clearance. Lloyd is first at the footy, keeps the ball in front, and then he's just got some class, Dean Rioli. Summed this up beautifully and finished well. So a couple of very important goals for the Bombers. Get them back nearly on level pegging.
Dean Rioli has started very well, 6 possessions. And that goal gets the Bombers back into this. French won it down. Murphy at close quarters. Koutafidis goes towards half forward. It pitches inside the 50, bounces very high. Well done, like a ruckman. Fletcher got it down. McVeigh running out of space, and Friends gets a hand pass away. McPhee.
Fletcher's in a bit of trouble here, Dennis. Got up very gingerly.
Yes, he's hobbling. The ball's out of bounds meantime. What a compassion being shown by those Blues.
They're putting some physical pressure on from a forward's point of view. That's great to see. Too often it's the backman that dictates, so that's good to see from Favola.
Right
Spoken
ankle.
like a forward. Yeah, knocked down by French. Hume in trouble. How did he get rid of it? Fisher rushed across the line. Let's go down to the dock.
Yeah, Dustin Fletcher came down awkwardly on the ankle. Just see him up in the air here, Dennis. Come down, watch the right ankle as he lands and rolls it across there. So hopefully the tape will have protected him from anything serious, but they'll watch him.
Interesting attention he was receiving there as well. Here's Houlihan as he kicks inside the forward 50. Whitnell from behind. Up he goes. Good thump from Solomon. Hurd puts it up in the air, stays up for a while, and Beaumont was able to get to the front. Couldn't quite hold it. Almost pushed in the back. Umpire called. Yes, he got it. It was in the back. Let's just have a look at some of the attention that was being put on Fletcher after he hurt that ankle, and ankle tap in the Lou Richards tradition, that one.
You talk about stupid up the other end, Dennis.
Exactly.
Why
Sure.
give
I didn't say
umpires an
stupid.
excuse?
No. You just wonder sometimes, don't you?
Lou Richards used to say that he was such a kind-hearted bloke, he'd put iodine on the toe of his boots so they wouldn't get infected when he kicked them. Good evening to Lou and Edna, sitting at home watching tonight as Lance Whitnell. Big goal, this one. Blues need it. Comes in. Lance needs to kick these. And he's not having a good night in front of the big sticks. That's 3 behinds to Lance Whitnell in the first 17 minutes of footy.
Shades of last week. There's Wellman. It was so good last Saturday in the victory over Melbourne. He was in the back pocket.
Essendon have played their poorest football this season.
Reynolds, up he goes, and that's a very good mark.
Good mark. Yeah, Essendon have played their poorest footy this season when they've gone short in slow fashion. When you can make them go long, they're going to be a much better side.
Beaumont did well, trapped it. Franchina comes out of their head first. He was pushed in the back, says umpire Allen. Franchina to take it on the wing then. Just under 8 minutes till quarter time. Blues by 10 points. Big pack. Whitnell got a hand to it. McCurry, Peverill got top Brownlow votes last time these sides met. Across the ground, Hill. This will be interesting. The big guy. Soccer's off the ground. You've got to know your limitations. Here's a chance for White. Does exactly that. Favola, meantime, grabs it, kicks inside the 50. McPhee may have touched it. Sliding in very hard. Prendergast took him high. McVeigh to take the free. Plays on, wasting no time. Wellman to Hurd, deep in his own defensive area, to midfield, 2-on-1. The 2 prevail. The third didn't help the situation. Houlihan goes after it, but there's a whistle. It's coming back. It's going to be an Essendon free.
Yeah, you win the ball, but you still hit him on the side of the head, so it's still a free.
Fair enough.
Bombers go forward. Here's Johnson. Beautiful squaring kick right to the hot spot. Out he comes. Lloyd grabs it. Tried to crash through. Was a prior opportunity. No, said the umpire. Koutafidis got the ball out to Camporelli, but it's going to come straight back in. Here's Hurd again. Swinging around, finding space where there was none just a second ago. He thumps it long. McKay from behind gets a hand on the ball. The dangerous Ramanascus goes onto it. Left foot snap towards the goal. It's offline and through for a point.
James Hird's racked up 7 possessions already in this game. I think it's the match high. Kutafides has had 8, and well, someone's going to have to tighten up on him because he is just finding some touch in the middle of the ground, getting kicks at will. The player who's under a bit of an injury cloud, you think a bit more physical pressure should be applied.
Camporelli to Murphy. Murphy's kick is out to centre wing. This is where they're falling down a little bit, the Blues at the moment. Hickmott, front and square, goes hard at it, wants to flick it out to Favola. Did it beautifully. Favola's little hand out towards Hume. He'll try and crash through. Got it back to Favola. The Blues are running. Favola off the ground. Nice smother there from Essendon by Andrew Welsh. And the ball goes over the line and out of bounds. Throw in at half-forward flank for the Blues. What's going on? Umpire having a good look at Favola and Welsh getting stuck into each other. Don't do anything silly, Brendan. Not the first time he's heard that command. Welsh tries to knock it forward. And have another bounce. Andrew Welsh from West Meadows will know how to accommodate him, I'm sure.
There's James Hird. He's gone forward. They've had a win here, the Bombers, because Anthony Kutafides has had to go with him as we look at the possession time. Behind on the scoreboard, the Bombers had more of the footy, though.
Good game of footy. Johnson knocks it down. McCurry lays a tackle. That angle doesn't help me. Let's go down to the dock.
Yeah, Dustin Fletcher moving better after that ankle injury, Dennis. You can see actually the amount of tape he's got around his ankles have protected him. When he wears his socks so low, he's got half the tape allocation of the team on, I reckon.
Good move by Sheedy. I mean, Hird's been a wonderful midfielder for the last 10-15 minutes. He goes into the forward line and off comes Barnard, who wasn't doing anything up there, and on comes Mercedes straight into the midfield, and he'll pick up possessions where Hird left off.
It was Hume who was tackled moments ago, charging back into the fray. Recognise him that time. He'll have a ball up just outside the 50. 22 plays 13, just over 5 minutes till quarter time on what's a balmy night in Melbourne. Very pleasant. Bit slippery underfoot. French spikes it down towards the pocket. Jacobs sliding in. And across the line it goes in front of Hume. Houlihan picks himself up.
They've had the reshuffle, the Blues. Cooter back into the midfield. He's up against Rioli. Andy McKay to full back on James Hird.
So French and Hill do the ruck work. Hume flicks it out. Murphy just got enough of the hand on it to keep possession. Good play. Thumps it up towards Lance Whitnall. Was pushed in the back. Got to the front. Umpire called play on. Carlton fans are screaming. Doesn't matter. McPhee runs away for Essendon. Awkward right foot kick out towards half forward. A vital contest this one. And great play by the Blues. They're able to get it away through Thornton. Thornton's kick, in fact, it was Spawn who got it away. This is Camporelli now. From half-forward flank, he thumps it long up towards full forward. Up goes Favola, punched away at the back there was Fletcher. Got it down to Hume. In he goes again, Houlihan. Hickmott kicked 5 last week. Couldn't kick that one. It's through for a point.
Gee, they were dangerous then. They had a couple of crummers on the ground and only one Essendon player in the vicinity. That was Fletcher.
Inside 50s, Carlton 16, Essendon 8.
Fletcher. Another long kick. Too long as it turns out. Way too long.
Carlton have actually had more inside 50s in the first 2 rounds than Essendon, so they are getting it in there, and Dustin Fletcher still proppy.
Murphy close to the boundary line. Without the wisdom of that, McCurry running out of space. Hand passes away. Wellman. Mark Johnson breaks away. Chips up towards half back. They were lucky to get out of that. Perhaps they haven't. Davies. Strong tackle on McPhee. Took him down, and the umpire says held to him. There was a great tackle, and Essendon very lucky. Twice.
You heard the umpire say he just got it and you tackled him. I reckon you got a good look at him.
French got a hand to it. Masiti, Solomon fends off a would-be tackler, drives it down towards half forward. Spawn robbed of it by Cupido, so much so the mark is paid. 55 metres out.
Danger now. Hird one out.
Comes on a lead. It goes in that direction. Why not? Lovely kick. That kick had eyes, and Hird on the lead is marked about 35 metres out.
Not much you could do about that, Gary. I mean, if there's one bloke you want to pick to play on him in the Carlton team in a one-out situation you're going to trust with your life, Andy McKay.
I don't think he's quite got the legs he used to have.
No.
Andy McKay, that would be the only problem. Beautiful kick, Cupido. Your eyes would light up if you're a forward when he got it.
Hard to defend that. James Hird kicks the goal.
You can't help but think of Michael Long when you see Damien Cupido in that number 13 jumper and wheel around on the left foot. That's a bit long-like, just deft little touches to yourself. And all that space, look at it. There's not much, as Dennis said, or Dermot, one or you two learned gentlemen said. Plenty of space to lead into, and opted to go on the chest, but realised he had a little bit of room to move in.
So the Blues kicked the first 3 goals. The Bombers have answered with the next 3, and it's a 4-point ball game.
Good boy.
Beautiful mark. That was the umpire calling out mine there.
Did well to sum it up, didn't he? Work out that he had to go in the hands.
That's his 5th possession. He's kicked 1 tonight, so he's doing very well in game number 2. And it comes to Hickmott, as I said, 5 last week. Favola kicked 5 as well. And he's missed this one, has he? He has. So the Blues have really had an opportunity to stretch this lead. They move on to 3 goals, 6-24 to 3-1-19. And they really could have, with an ounce of luck, been a few goals in front.
Dennis Pagan has identified that Sean Wellman, as good as he is as a link backman and does the job minding somebody in a one-out body contest, he's trying to isolate Hickmott on Wellman in the goals here when he can get it to that isolation.
Fletcher, who seems to be okay now, kicks in. So off on the target, Wellman.
This is how he hurts it. Very good going forward the other way.
Gee, they've closed it down, Carlton, though. They are one-on-one everywhere and really jammed this game up, not giving him much room to move at the moment.
McCurry in the back pocket, back to Wellman. They edge up the ground. Now some space. Welsh towards half forward. Hill out-manoeuvred over the top. Came young Davies, threw it out. Masiti. McPhee couldn't handle it. Spills wide to Solomon. Solomon probing kick. Hird. McKay did very well, angled it towards the boundary. Second effort from Hird. Well, that's clever. A little feint of hand there. Well, how did he get rid of the football would be the question I'd be asking if I were McKay.
Oh, yeah, he just stooged the umpire, didn't he?
Well, did he take possession and then throw it back?
Of course he did.
Great call, Dennis.
Just stooged him.
That is a mistake, pure and simple.
It's worth doing if you're the forward. The worst thing that can happen is it's play on.
Well, you get penalised holding the ball.
It's not too bad. You've bottled him up in a back pocket.
He's in pretty good touch, James Hird.
So he'll take a pretty good kick. Inside the last 2 minutes of the opening term. And you want quality. Not quite there. Just missing to the near side, but backed himself.
4 points to difference. Just over a minute and a half left in the quarter. Camporelli at fullback for Carlton. Going to have a great game tonight on Friday Night Football as Camporelli brings it back in. Up goes Beaumont. Couldn't quite hold the mark. It bounced off French's shins. Picked up by Beaumont again. Came out to McKay. Carlton with the numbers. Getting it up to the centre wing position. Wellman's been good. Thumped it away from Hickmott. Goes in a second time. Hickmott in again. He's thrown to the ground. Here's Wellman. Davies was there as well. It spills to Murphy. Bit happening off the ball at the moment as well. Lance Whitnell is in there, the Blues. Finally, they get it out through Fisher. Free kick in the back. And the enigmatic one from Carlton has got it. Brendan Favola.
A couple of these Carlton kids are going to be okay, aren't they? Davies, Fisher's another one who's shown a little bit tonight already. Something to get excited about, and they'll take front spot. You're always a chance to get those ones.
You noticed that in the middle of the ground there, Gary. They really out-mongreled Essendon in winning the ball when it was on the deck there. And they just ran off Joe Masidi. He was flat-footed when they took away from him then.
Favola's kicked 1 goal, 1 tonight. Inside a minute to go in this first quarter. Carlton by 4 points. This to make it 10. Bomber fans giving him plenty to think about. Right on 50. In comes Brendan Favola. Beautiful kick, and he has split the middle. Carlton by 10 points.
I'll tell you what, Dermot, we've been pretty impressed with Brendan Favola the past 2 weeks we've seen him. But if he's got 2 in the first quarter. If he ends up with half a dozen on Dustin Fletcher, then you've got to claim him. You've got to announce his arrival, I reckon. and he's taken Fletcher to where Fletcher doesn't want to go. Rather than play conventional Neats full forward footy, Favola's been up the ground, he's been on the centre wing, he's pushed into defence, come
he
back
starts
again.
on the flank. At the bounce downs, he's starting him on the flank, which Fletcher doesn't want.
Yep.
Brendan Favola, 9 career goals against the Bombers, a best effort of 3. Round 3 of 2001, has 2 tonight. Here's Hurd, another possession, gave it away though, straight to White. Long kick inside the 50. Whitnell almost on the chest. They'll play that. Bounced out. Whitten got it again.
And one of the key parts of Dustin Fletcher's game is that he gets back and helps out in these contests. Now, you see him float across the front. That's because he started on the flank that you identified, Dermot, and he wasn't able to get to it. See a little uncertainty in Fletcher's mind there. Do I go and help out like I usually do, or do I stay with Favola? Decides to stay, and all of a sudden Lance Whitnell pinches a mark.
And as you notice too, from the goal square, out came Hickmott and Wellman, and he had the body or the knowledge of his mind to actually fend off Wellman onto the back of Whitnell.
And he did very well, Whitnell, before all that, as the ball was kicked. He picked it up quickly in the air. He threw Jacobs right out of the play. And that was how he was able to get in there on his own.
Now, this is the test. Never been any danger about Lance getting it.
Right on the siren. Trying to bend it back. He's got 4 behinds now. Industrious opening term, but not an accurate one. Lance Whitnell has kicked 4 points. And the siren, as he kicked there, may have just thrown him slightly. Carlton 4-7. Essendon 3-2. This is Friday Night Football on 9.
Gist of the conversation he had with his players was, in fact, those scoring shots, and possibly they should have done more with them, Doc.
Yeah, you mentioned Justin Fletcher running around. They checked his ankle. He's a little bit sore, and with the extra work that Favola's making him do, they're really testing this quarter, but he's still out there.
Peverill tracking the ball inside the centre square. Did pretty well, showed a lot of courage. Hurd feeds it back. McVeigh bounces up towards the wing after a deflection. Jason Johnson inside the 50. Putting a hand on it, Thornton, diving on top of it, Lloyd, slaps it back towards the middle, down goes Lucas, held to him, and we'll have a ball up right on the 50.
Be nice to see Jason Johnson start to get into the season. Umpire suggesting he's going back towards the centre. Yeah, Johnson hasn't had much influence on the past 2 games.
Only had 3 possessions in that opening term. Heard the umpire, touch play on. Hurd.
He finds it.
He's been good. McVeigh. Johnson over the top of the ball. And held it in, says the umpire. Carlton free kick.
Hume and Murphy, take your pick, the umpire says. Hume laid the season high for Carlton last week. Well, there's only 2 games, 7 tackles he laid for the night.
And Murphy will claim it. He's kicked it forward. Wellman, who's had plenty of it, but has been second grabbing a fair bit tonight. Houlihan slaps it forward. They're doing it almost in maul fashion at the moment, Carlton. And they're happy to have it inside 50.
You find out a lot of key position players have got very clean hands when the ball comes to them from a distance. Get it to them in short, like a little handball over 1 metre or so. They double grab at it.
Alessio got the tap. Camporelli went to ground. Hurd over the top of him. We'll have another bounce.
Right now, James Hurd is playing on Anthony Koutafidis, and they are just going after the footy and not worrying about each other. It's a shootout. 40
metres out from the Carlton goal, a chance for Wiggins. He had it. Little toe poke. Favola comes out, good tackle. Masidi did it well. Going to come back. Kuta was a kick behind play. If he can pick it up, he does now. With his 9th possession, Anthony Koutafidis decides to go long up towards the centre half forward position. Big pack fly. Johnson at the fall of the ball. Houlihan stayed on his feet. Here's a chance now for Murphy. Can he do something? He does. He gets it out to Lance. This time can he get a goal? Yes, he can. He's first.
Again.
Well, he is finding the footy, Lance. He's got his hands on it today. I think that's about his 4th shot or 5th shot at goal. 5th shot in actual fact, and he's had 8 possessions. He has had a slow start. Look, there's Kuta. He was back. There was not anyone within 30 metres of him. If he and Hurd play this way all night, someone will end up with 50 touches out of those 2. But look, this was a nice deft touch here from Murphy. He's just paddled it into the path of Lance Whitnell, and that's a much better finish.
Lance Whitnell has won 4, played only 14 games last season. Showed signs last week. He's carried on tonight. French knocks it wide. White in trouble. Houlihan, he's been busy. Kicks wide of the centre square. Bounces back in. Well, almost. Jacobs stumps it forward. Lucas drives it around the outer side down towards half forward. In fact, it wasn't Lucas out there. That been Jacobs. Alessio's getting a free kick in any case.
No, I saw you drag him down, Barnaby.
It's Peverill after all of that. Statistician tearing his hair out. Alessio short. Solomon about 40 metres out. Dean Solomon started brilliantly last week against Melbourne. 13 possessions in the first term. There's Joe Masiti coming to the bench.
Labouring not for the first time today.
And Lloyd is getting a free.
Have a listen. Come here. No, you. Your kick. It's his kick because it's your free kick, but it's a 50-metre penalty, so he takes it. You got him high. Free kick right here.
Hasn't quite worked out how to be tough yet, Trent Spawn. If that's what he was trying to do, Derm.
Interesting. Solomon pops it through. Easy as you like.
That is a great call. That is a great call, because if he does get it too good, he is the centre of an investigation that goes on for months. He is somebody who's broken a jaw behind play.
Here we go. I think it's Thornton. Now that's just... Matty Lloyd looked at him as if to say, what are you trying to do, mate? All he did is give away a 50-metre penalty.
Yep.
He's just got to learn to do that in a better, more subtle way.
Yep.
So, a goal given up.
Brett Thornton it was, Ed.
Yep.
I think I called it a spawn, but that was his attempt at roughing up Matthew Lloyd, and all it was resulted in a goal.
Yep, all he had to do was keep the arm down and give him a bit of a push if he wanted to. Hurd gets it out. Bombers now through Fletcher. Up towards the half-forward flank position they go. Johnson's up there. Punched away by Beaumont. It comes down to Barnard. Good kick around the body. Up to the danger zone. Rioli was there, so too Lloyd. Beaumont again. Gets it out. Good play this time by Thornton. Found his teammate. Camporelli taken down after his kick. Umpire called play on. Look at that. Party trick. Comes out from Brendan Favola. Welcome to centre stage. Brendan Favola, beautiful long kick up towards Whitnell, who made the contest. Umpires paid the mark to Jacobs at the front of the pack. To Barnard, right on the 50. Beautiful kick to centre wing. Wellman held that one that time. Peverill looks up, gets a lead from Johnson. Beautiful kick, beautiful lead. Great football. 55 metres out.
Space for Lloyd in the pocket.
Mark Johnson runs off the line. You heard the umpire. Play on. Comes back onto the left foot. Puts it out in front of Lloyd. Gets the run at the ball. He'll mark it and does. And will line up 30 metres out directly in front, and the margin will be back to 5 points.
And this might have had a little word in the ear of Brett Thornton as he is getting up. He just lost him here. This is what continual movement will do for you. I think we highlighted it last week. Sometimes he's got to take the front spot, Brett Thornton, and work out where he can win the footy, and that was only ever going to be in front. Chasing a forward round like that, you're going to get lost somewhere.
Well, you know, the thing you hate as a forward is when they put body on body, when they just chase around. If you're getting a few elbows in the guts like Matty was giving him in the first quarter, well, young Thornton, you know you're doing your job if Matty Lloyd has to turn around and supposedly slap you in the guts.
First kick, first mark, and first goal to Matthew Lloyd for the night. It's a 5-point ball game.
I think Brett Thornton's still learning, Derm, and Stephen Silvani would be his greatest ally at the moment. Just about where to position himself in terms of full forward, full back play. You see there, just lost him. Looked actually at Andrew McKay and almost ran into him, and that was where he lost Matthew Lloyd for a split second. And when your opposition is of the quality of Lloyd, it only needs to be a split second.
So the margin back to 5 points now. Carlton hanging on, but Essendon looking better. Alessio had it, lost it. So too Peverill. Hurd picks it up, smothered off the boot by Hume. Likewise, Koutafidis did well. Camporelli, Fisher hurriedly kicks inside the 50. Requires courage. Peverill did brilliantly. Plays on immediately. Swings it to left half back. Barnard meters in the clear. Goes towards Ramanauskas, had to stretch, got it down to his own advantage, well played. Jason Johnson going nowhere, but taken high. And he's going to get the free kick right on the wing. Suddenly, a bit more urgency about the Bombers.
Inside 50s, Essendon 13, Carlton 24, but as you call it, only 5 points ahead, even though they've gone in 9 or 10 times more.
Jason Johnson inside the 50. Alessio in two minds about contesting. Eventually it spills out of bounds as we go down to the dock.
Yeah, Joe Mercedes leaving the Essendon bench and heading for the rooms with the physio, Dennis, having taken a hit around the hip area. Looks like he's got a cork in the buttock. Joe doesn't walk the best at any time, but you can see he's got a bit more of a swagger up at the moment.
Alessio got the tap. It was sharked by Koutafidis towards the wing position. Murphy tapped it, looking for Houlihan. Jacobs to the boundary line. Murphy gives him a bit of a heave-ho as well. We'll have a throw in between wing and half-forward flank for the Bombers, as you can see.
Yes, mate.
Start to wonder, Gary, when the opportunity to get lapping forward might come if you can cover him at the other end. They need some potential inside their 50.
Very one-on-one the contest today. It was a good tap, clever tap from Barnaby French. Favola wanted the free kick. Jacobs for the Bombers does it well. Now they start to mount something. Fletcher, thumping kick. It's out in front of Hurd, who comes out to meet it. Cupido waits for the handball. Beautiful kick inside from Peveril there to Barnard. Now it's Cupido with a thumping kick to the goal square. Free kick, umpires picked one out. It's going away to Johnson. Caught him high, said the umpire. And the Bombers will have another free kick in the goal square this quarter.
Yeah,
this time to hit the lead.
Got him here, Franchina.
And the problem again, Derm, is when the defender takes his eyes off the footy.
Bombers hit the front for the first time tonight.
It's important here that Carlton don't panic now that they've been headed. They have to keep playing the same game. And these kids down back have to learn. They've got to trust them at the moment. But they just need to get something going forward from them. They haven't had their equal spread at the moment. He made sure the umpire saw it, but it's there.
Back to the footy, Franchina. As soon as he faced Johnson. Now look, you watch this. Actually, just... Well, this is...
Goal to Mark Johnson, who made his debut against Carlton, round 1 of 1999, a Thursday match here at the MCG. The Bombers duly won. Hooked down behind that time by Carlton, but picked up by Hurd towards half-forward. Ramanauskas could have been pushed in the back. Fisher in trouble. Ramanauskas bounces to his feet, runs to 50. Has it got the carry? Touched. A couple of metres out. Wonderful balance. Adam Ramanauskas.
Getting overwhelmed at the moment, Derm. They just can't find the footy.
Essendon have had 34 touches this quarter to Carlton 17. One thing I've noticed with all the bounce downs, James Hurd stands behind his ruckman on the defensive side of the pack, and the ball keeps finding him. Somebody's just got to stand next to him.
He hasn't had an opponent all night, which for a player coming off a bad corky is staggering.
2 behinds to Ramanauskas, and that's the margin now for the Bombers. Koutafidis takes another strong mark. 11th possession for the Kouta. Off one step, look at that one. Nice little lob almost to Hume at half-back flank. Hume gives it all he's got up towards the half-forward flank position. Out comes Houlihan, couldn't quite hold the mark. Ramanauskas is starting to look dangerous. He just tumbles it forward. Out comes Johnson, who takes the mark. Mark Johnson. Cupido is on in the goal square if he can get it on. Now the umpire calls him. In the meantime, Rioli drifts forward, lends some support. And Rioli will mark and kick for goal from about 48 metres out directly in front.
Now that ball got turned around on the half-forward flank for Carlton. 3 Carlton players charged at it. Only 1 Essendon player spoiled, and they had the numbers at ground. I mean, it's good, it's great being eager, but sometimes you've got to just temper that enthusiasm.
Excuse me, Dean Rioli has kicked 1 goal for the night. From 52 metres, he gives it a good ride, but it's offline and through for a behind.
Got to find a way forward, the Blues. They've got to get that footy through the middle of the ground. They do look reasonably dangerous with Hickmott and Whitnell certainly, and Favola. They've probably got some winning forwards. They just need to get it on with a bit of urgency, a bit of haste.
15-man zone there by Essendon.
Camporelli kicked it in. Spawn knocks it forward. Koutafidis, quick hands. Hume, forward of half-back, goes down towards half-forward. Whitnell slipping away from Jacobs. Takes the mark forward of the wing. Interesting kick. Bounces down towards half forward. Murphy to Houlihan just outside the 50. Kept his head. That was good footy, and Waite's got it. About 30 metres out. Sharp angle. Hume off the ground. Davies back on.
As funny as it sounds, one out, the Carlton forwards are going okay. It's just the extra numbers that are doing them at the moment in their back line.
After a well-weighted pass. Waits
At the knob.
gets the red bit.
Right on the knob, Ed. Just at the top of the goalpost.
Did. Hang on, Beaumont running into the umpire. Have a look at this one, boys. Shepherd's in.
Bad bump.
He wouldn't have known it was the umpire there. Hit right at the top, didn't it, that one?
Right on the top.
So Waite. Bit unlucky on that one. It was a beautiful kick. Players seem to be working out the Ponsford Hole end of the ground at the moment. Here's a chance for Carlton. They need to get on the board. Good hard play there. What did the umpire say? Free kick. Prendergast went straight at Fletcher.
Easy. Ian, I'm reporting you for rough play, okay? Dustin, I've reported in for rough play. You okay? Just wait up, all right?
Well, there you go. You heard from the umpire there, umpire Darren Morris, that Prendergast has been reported for rough play. Now, it's a good hard football, and obviously I didn't see that angle of the tackle.
Good luck, Ian.
So he's been reported and will face the tribunal on Tuesday night in a case of rough play against Dustin Fletcher of the Bombers.
Be in a lot worse state if he was playing rugby league.
Mark Johnson, right half back, up towards the wing then. Was Johnson flying through, missing the ball. Mark Johnson, a kick came from Jason. McVeigh puts it inside the 50. Spills to Solomon. Ramanauskas, uncharacteristic fumble, goes in, gets the goal in any case. His first.
We hear about coaches talk to their forwards to say, listen, we want a genuine contest. Even if you don't mark it, try and bring the ball to the front. And you'll see the value of this right here. Lloyd was never going to mark it. Just kept it there long enough for Solomon to run onto the footy and give it to Ramanauskas. So I'll put that one down to Matthew Lloyd. It was a terrific stretch and one of those 1%ers that don't show up in the stats book.
So suddenly the Bombers out to an 8-point lead, and they've kicked the last 4 goals of this quarter. Rioli thumps it inside 50, looking for Lloyd. That's another free kick. In the back says the umpire. And Matthew Lloyd will go back from 45 metres out directly in front for goal number 2 for the quarter. Free kicks 11 Essendon, 8 to Carlton, and we couldn't get more in the back than that. Thornton, not happy. But boys, Dermot, you couldn't complain, could you?
No, you couldn't. The one thing is, you know from Matty Lloyd's actions there, he's milked that free kick. He was never going to try and mark that himself. He used experience there to have the kid plough him in the back. So never did he get the arms up, Ed?
Lloydie, he got his arms up there throwing the grass in the air, does his traditional gardening. Comes in, has kicked 1 goal this quarter and 1 for the game, and now he's got 2 for both, and the Bombers are starting to pull away. They lead by 14 points.
One thing they're not doing is working back hard enough into their back line at the static plays, i.e. the bounce downs. Carlton in the first quarter were flooding their back line and then all working very hard going forward with it. That's dropped off. So Lloydie here, he props. He actually tries to dig in 2 feet there and get flat-footed to hold his ground. But he wasn't actually making a real concerted effort. He knew, he felt the body weight moving forward on him. The kid's inexperienced.
Matthew Lloyd, 47 career goals against the Blues. Best effort, 6, round 18 of 98. Hacked out of midair by Barnard. The last 5 goals to the Bombers. Strong tackle, Lucas. Ball up about 60 metres out from goal. All one-way traffic at the moment.
You'd suspect that Essendon have had a fair share of the footy this quarter. There's no doubt about that.
Oh.
That is big in terms of a quarter of football.
There's the bounce then. Bucks go at it. Knocked forward by Mark Johnson. Spills wide. Waite, clever. Camporelli under pressure. As a result, Barnard marks inside the centre square, lays it off. Jacobs steps around a would-be tackler, kicks inside the 50. Wonderful finish. Rioli is marked 30 metres out. And it's as if Kevin Sheedy threw a switch.
That's it, Dean.
It's got a bit of a look about it, and it's got a bit of a smell about it at the moment. Of a shellacking. I hope it's not, because Carlton have been brave early in this game, but they've only played probably 10 minutes of real good footy, Essendon, and they're about to slot this out to 20 points.
Good spot up. Crowded forward line.
He's been very good. No trouble at all. His second.
Well, the targets inside 50 are finding it too easy now. They've had 6 marks inside their forward 50, Essendon. Hitting them pretty easy now. They're all under pressure going the other way, Carlton. As you saw there, the kick. And this is a good spot up here.
And Dean Rioli is having a pretty good evening. In fact, he started this season in very good form.
6 consecutive goals in 14 minutes of play for the Bombers gives them a 20-point lead, and suddenly a very tight grip on this game. Can Kuta break that grip? He gets it out to McCormick, who tries to knock it forward. He'll have another bounce. But suddenly these young Blues boys seem to just be a little bit shell-shocked.
Yep, and you know the heat went out of the game. There's the top disposal getters. First 15.
Those two at the top.
Yeah.
They're having a nice night.
Blues desperately need one here just to hold back the tide a little bit. Alessio. Prior opportunity, said the umpire. Free kick to the Blues. Advantages paid. Kuta Phillies runs forward, and the mark has been paid to Whitnell. So Whitnell will have to kick at 45 metres. The angle's not a major worry.
Does get tested about this range, Ed. He actually starts hitting them on the inside of his foot. They spin properly, they do everything right, but he kicks them off the inside of his foot and they go left nearly every time.
It's the only goal kicker for the Blues this quarter. He's kicked 1 goal for. The 4 behinds coming in that first term. When he kicked that goal, the Blues were 17 points in front. This to bring it back to 14 points. As Dermot said, he just overcommits from that distance. 1 goal 5.
He's not even in between. Normally it's off the instep, or he's just sprayed it out there to the right.
But it is like they've rediscovered Lance Whitnell tonight, the Carlton players. Their confidence is growing in him, and they are going to him a lot more often. He just needs to reward them with straight kicking.
Jacobs to McVeigh. Short of half back, squares it. Mark Johnson out at left half back. Not much on this side of the ground. Goes back to Fletcher. He decides to run initially. Hesitates. Long kick towards the outer side wing. Wellman leads back in the race. Aided and abetted by Solomon. Solomon kicks inside the 50. Lloyd had it fisted away by Thornton. Down goes Thornton. He'll get a free kick. Matthew Lloyd on a short fuse tonight.
Just over-exuberant, yeah, I'm watching. You just pushed him over that time.
Use those sort of words to footballers.
Over.
Yes. Well, there's a man who knows his stuff. Matthew Lloyd. Off hands, out of bounds on the outer side. There's going to be another free kick to Carlton. This time for Bowler, a long way up the ground. Meanwhile, in the centre square, a bit happening.
Got to be
and there's a free kick back. It's centre half forward for Carlton.
I watched it.
Terrible, Fletch.
Okay.
Free kick over there.
Fletch back here. It is.
Makes me wonder about that earlier ruling with Lloyd, why it wasn't the kick of the man who was in the square, because they paid that to Prendergast. Remember that one?
Yep.
Seemed a bit strange at the time. Anyway, here's Alessio.
Just to answer it, Ed, Fletcher gave the big gangster slap to the side of French's ear.
And the umpire said it was terrible.
Correct.
The critic as well as an adjudicator these days. Comes out to Fletcher. Well, that was magnificent, James Hird. It was just nice to sit back and watch that there. Courage, skill, and then he put it straight down McVeigh's throat. Here come the Bombers. Inside 50 they go. The mark's been taken by Wellman. Wellman looks up. Gets leads from Lucas. Now he gets one from Lloyd.
Well, Brett Thornton, he has to learn. There was only one place that Matthew Lloyd could go to, and that was there yet he ran back with him side by side. He just had to let Lloyd go to the goal square and stand that 5 or 10 metres in front.
Lloyd's kicked 2 for the quarter, 2 for the night. Bombers by 19 points. Umpire nearly putting him over the fence on the angle. In he comes. Beautiful kick of the football, Matthew Lloyd. The 2-time Coleman medalist puts it across the face of goals and through for a point.
Yes, and here's the lead here. See, Brett Thornton, he's going back to goal thinking, oh, well, he's not going to go to Matthew Lloyd. Of course he's going to go to Matthew Lloyd.
Junior footy, that stuff.
Yeah, he's just got to learn.
Margin 20 points. Camporelli drives it up towards the wing. Chance for Houlihan to Lappin. Pounds it in hard, and his second bounce, running down towards right half forward and at third. Can keep going. Well, hesitates, pops it inside the 50. Wonderful finish. Very much played on his terms there. Now Davies only about 35 metres out with a chance to finish.
Already seen in these opening 3 weeks of league football this season, when a player has the ball bouncing down a wing, the opposition retreat from him and hope that he makes a mistake by foot entering forward 50, and it's risky if he finds the target like that.
Austin Davies, very important kick in the context of this game. Starts it right. They're missing right from this side of the ground. He's missed it by a pretty big margin, as you can see.
And that was a big miss. Marks this quarter, the Bombers just dominating. This will be 25. Carlton have had 6. Solomon on hands and knees, does it well, slaps it forward. Now the Bombers run out. Wellman again. He is the go-to man. He is the quarterback for the Bombers tonight. To Hill, to Lucas, threads the needle, to Barnard, a thumping kick to the goal square. Ramanauskas is there, almost bounced through. Here's a chance again for the Rammer. Over the line and out of bounds and hit the behind post. We'll have a throw in.
One of the problems, the Blues have tried to push their Essendon defenders up and get them out of position. It worked well in the first quarter, but all it's doing now is it's giving them a launching pad off half back. It means they're closer to the ball, and Wellman and Solomon are just chewing it up at the moment.
Bombers have kicked the last 6. Lucas over the top was the 3rd man up. Yeah, Carlton hearts in mouths there as McKay cleared out towards Lappin, who thumps it along the ground over the line and out of bounds, and that's a good result for the Blues, who need to take stock. They're only trailing by 20 points, but they have certainly been facing been running against the tide of play here in this last 25 minutes of football.
Well, Hurdy's played a fair bit of the second quarter on the ball, and he's called up to Cooter. He was headed by half a K at quarter time, but Carlton are just getting trounced in the middle of the ground now.
At half forward flank for the Bombers. Bounces off French's head. McVeigh, another throw in. Let's go down to Tony Jones.
Well, Eddie, I tell you what, I don't know how many times we say it, we should never try and predict Melbourne's weather. A huge storm is heading Melbourne's way now. And, look, don't know if it'll get here before the end of the game, but obviously any lead would be a very handy one. All
right, well, there you go. As Tony said, Rob Gell's obviously been on the phone to him. As French taps it over the back to Wiggins. Smothered. McPhee, little toe poke. Another chance for the Bombers here. Good play by Houlihan, was tripped.
Free kick.
And here from the umpire there, Solomon just took him with a sliding soccer style tackle. And the Blues.
High there.
Yeah, McPhee.
50 metres.
No.
McPhee ran past.
Wait for it. On the line. Thanks.
McPhee ran past Waite and just gave him a slap across the mush.
That's technical.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with this.
Happy coincidence, right on the line. Mark is taken by Favola on the lead, certainly their most dangerous forward. Although Whitnell's played well as well, they've got value from both their key forward positions.
He likes shooting from this side of the ground, though, Brendan Favola. He slotted one at the other end on this type of angle, this type of distance.
Amazing what confidence does for a player. I mean, he wants the footy, he wants it kicked in his area. Trainer's been shooed away at the moment, but he's performed admirably in this first half against the best defender in the comp.
Side down by 20 points, approaching half-time. He's booted 2 goals. No gimme from here. So far the history tells us out to the right is the place this could finish. Not this kick, though. That is powerful. Straight through the middle. He's got 3.
It's a great hit from Brendan Favola. The fact is now that he's got Dustin Fletcher a little bit on the back foot. Fletcher's that good a player, he won't go into his shell, but he can now take him to the goal square. He played him up across half forward beautifully in the first quarter, but now they need a bit more structure. As you can see here, he can go to the goal square with a bit of confidence.
See, Fletch took his eyes off him then, and he went around the other side of the pack and led, and he almost caught him on the lead. He's quick, Fletcher.
So 14 points. It's a vital goal for the Blues. If they can pinch one here, it'll be a great end of the quarter. Up goes Camporelli from the centre bounce. At the back, it's Jacobs. A look-away handball put Solomon under the hammer, but he was equal to the task. To Peveril, now out to Wellman, around the body. Stays up in the air for a while, but McPhee gets across and takes the mark. McPhee will transfer play out to the members' side. He finds Fletcher. Fletcher has Hurd right out wide. Hurd takes the ball beautifully, looks up. There's plenty of options. Puts it out in front of Jacobs. It was a half volley. The kick wasn't good enough on that occasion. Here come the Blues. Whitnell out wide to Lappin. Lappin looks down. Murphy's on. Doesn't hit him on the full, and in fact nutmegs him. So the Blues missed their opportunity as Fletcher just hoiks it back. They'll get a second chance. Lappin. Lappin inside 50. Off hands. Davies is there. Dangerous. Inside 2 minutes to go. The Blues. Can they pinch one? Ball up. 40 metres. No. He's pinged him for a prior opportunity there. So a free kick to McPhee. The free kick coming against Prendergast.
Play no 15.
Not 15, you heard the umpire. Welsh got it from McPhee. Advantage will be paid. They've been hot on this tonight.
Any of these free kicks, how's against Camporelli?
And they haven't all been the same. This one is going to the man down the ground, which is fair enough. The player in fringe was the shepherd at that time. Anyway, Peveril's got the ball. Right team has it, regardless. Peveril, short. Mind you, I think that was the right decision. Wellman on the wing, goes down towards right half forward. Mercury came hard, strong lead. A minute remaining in this opening half. Mark Mercury, the veteran, sets it up high. Hill approaches the footy, one-handed. Prendergast got a fist on it, knocked it wide. Rioli arrived quickly, deep in the pocket. Was he taken high?
Yes.
Yep. That's the call.
It wasn't the fist from Prendergast was
accidental. It was accidental, I reckon.
I mean the punch of the footy.
Watch him go for the left hand here. Goes for the footy.
That's messy, though. I mean,
it is.
You can't go that high when you're that close to goal.
He'd make a terrible puppeteer, Thornton, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah. He's not too subtle.
So Rioli in the pocket, 25 metres out. 3 goals so far in this term from free kicks.
Well, he's wiping away blood, I reckon. I mean, umpire. He might have the blood rule invoked here.
Too late, he's moving.
Yep.
Going at his third. Dean Rioli started very well. Misses this one, though.
Been good, though, Rioli, tonight. He's running onto the footy. He's worked right through the middle. Obviously benefiting from a big pre-season.
2 goals, 2 to Dean Rioli tonight. Goals coming in both quarters. So Carlton have got one last roll of the dice. The main thing for them is not to concede a goal. Barnard flicks it out. Koutafidis is there. Tries to crash through. Mercury throws him to the ground. Ball over the line and out of bounds with 30 seconds left in the first half. It's the Bombers leading by 15 points. Disposals this quarter, 82 the Bombers to Carlton's 50, so Essendon have absolutely dominated. 6 goals to 2 on the scoreboard. But we've got a really good game on Friday Night Football again in the next half of footy coming up. Hickmott was fantastic last week. 15 seconds left. Up towards half-forward flank. Whitnell there, used his body beautifully. Will get... No. Didn't get the free kick. In fact, it's going against Whitnell. Well, you can stand your spot, can't you?
Yeah, but he made no attempt at the ball, Ed. He was protecting the zone and weight. That's the way the umpire will interpret it.
All right, 15 free kicks, Bombers, 13 to Carlton, and that'll be the half-time score as Jacobs takes his kick. And a great quarter for Essendon and a very good half for Carlton. means we're going to be in for a big second half of football on Friday night football. It's Essendon 9-6-60, Carlton 6-9-45. By 15 points.
Friday night football, away we go, second half. Alessio got it on the way down, socket off the ground by McPhee. Cupido did well with the body, clever, beaten by numbers. Spawn kicks it down towards half forward. Fletcher testing that injured ankle, sockers towards the boundary. It stays in initially and now goes out. So boundary throw in right on the wing.
Got to throw everything at it here. The Blues, they got to get their work rate back up as it was at the start of this game. Try and put a bit of scoreboard pressure back on the Bombers.
McPhee to Koutafidis.
Tossed in, Alessio trying to hook it down behind. French knocked it down, quick hands. Rioli to Solomon, kicks well inside the 50. Franchina high, thumped it down. Hume eventually gets it out to support Camporelli in trouble. Hume dives in, Camporelli tackled high. He'll get the free kick on the defensive 50.
Careful, please.
Hume flicks it out. Camporelli transfers play out to Houlihan. Has some space. Usually a good kick. This one's out a little bit wide. Good play by Hickmott. Good tackle by Wellman. I reckon he's dislocated his finger. Yep. Wiggins inside 50. Great kick to Lance.
Either that it or he split the webbing on the jumper. Yeah, it's out. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Beauty.
Ow.
Pull them back. In all seriousness, they reckon they're quicker. And the doc will tell you this. If you can get them back in yourself, they're less traumatised and they're out of socket less time. So pull them back if you can.
Don't you get the shock of your life when you look at that finger?
Oh, it's no good, that.
It's somebody else's.
Lance has kicked 1 goal, 5. Lance has kicked 2 goals, 5. And the Blues are back.
Well, I reckon the focus has to go on to Lance Whitnell right now for Carlton. I think he is their best avenue towards goal. He's had a stack of shots at it tonight. Danny Jacobs has been his opponent, and they've been happy to leave him there whilst they've been able to dominate the game. That's where Sean Wellman dislocated his finger, but I really reckon they've got to isolate Whitnell now on Jacobs and try and go through him as much as they possibly can. He's shown he's in pretty good form. He's had lots of shots. He's the man. Oh, and there they are, just putting it back in, Dermot. That is a beauty.
That doesn't want to go either.
Ruckman go at it. French hooks it down. Camporelli almost got away. Mark Johnson knocked it down. McPhee to Hurd. Very much the story of the night. Hurd kicks towards half forward, taken by French. This time last week, James Hurd was hobbled. Lappin, good kick. Murphy forward at the wing. Wheels around, pulls it back towards the middle. Has it got too much carry? No. I'm not sure it was intended for him, but Anthony Koutafidis has taken the mark. 35 metres out directly in front.
One thing that could happen here as we see Sean Wellman, and the doc will be having a good look at that too, trying to still put it back in. Must be a serious dislocation there. Is that McPhee has now gone to play on Anthony Koutafidis, and he needs support from somebody else. He's not a big enough man or kid to go around with Anthony Koutafidis. If he lingers down into the forward line, props there and demands the ball.
And he should, shouldn't he?
Oh, make him accountable, yeah.
His 15th possession. Koutafidis, a question of accuracy. He's got it. His first. Great start by the Blues.
Best start, best possible start. Puts them back in the contest, gives them a bit of confidence. And, well, no coincidence who have kicked their first 2 goals of this game. Koutafidis and Whitnell. They're the 2 best players. They're the guys that they're going to ride on the back off to victory if they ever are going to. And I reckon they're going to isolate them and give them the best crack at it.
Four minutes gone in the third term. Free kick is going the way of Carlton. Out of the centre, the Blues have kicked the first 2. Whitnell and Koutafidis. It's a 3-point ball game and a report.
Have a listen.
We're reporting for striking, okay, mate?
There you heard it. Reported for striking. Barnard has been reported. In the meantime, the Blues have gone downfield and Brad Fisher has taken the mark. He's kicked 1 goal tonight to this end.
Oh, it's on behind play. McPhee's just given Cooter a slap now in the corridor.
Easy.
Gee, Darren Hume's in there. Who would have thought?
Surprising about that.
Darren! Thanks, mate. He's been reported. Leave it to us, thank you. There's no use getting
you guys are kicking for goal, okay?
In the meantime, Fisher comes in, an important kick to put the Blues back in front, and he nails it. He kicks his second. Blues by 3 points.
What a fantastic kick from a young fella who's shown plenty tonight, as young Brad Fisher. And there's a bit of pressure on out there now. There's a bit of niggle. And it is good to see a young fellow who's just making his way in the game.
Top of screen.
Just look at over there on the boundary line, on the corner of the square, and there it is from big Brute Bernard. And that's just one to the abdomen, and he's not happy. And still it goes on.
Yeah, still simmering here at the MCG.
Someone will go into the centre here.
Meantime, back at the game. One down by French. Picked up by Hurd. Knows no other way. Scrambled forward. Ramanauskas kicks inside the 50. Interesting. Rioli almost the mark with his back to the ball. McKay beat him though to midfield. Bit of a fumble. Spawn meters in the clear. Goes down towards half forward. Fletcher came hard. So too for Favola. Gave a contest and it spills out of bounds.
Well, we've got a game, boys.
Favola was all by himself, and the kick didn't favour him. What is actually happening now? Fletcher's saying, if you want to stand out on the flank at the bounce downs, I don't care. I'm going to the true full-back position, about 30 metres out, and he's generaling play from there.
Alessio knocks it forward. Koutafidis rode one bump. Hand passes towards the 50. Solomon went down. Didn't have the footy. It's somewhere behind him as we go down to the dock.
Yeah, Sean Wellman's got his finger back in the socket, boys, but it was a very nasty dislocation of the long finger on his right hand. He's completely dislocated in the opposite direction to the normal dislocations, and that's why they couldn't get it back in. They're going to take him to the rooms as we speak, going through, because it's popping in and out all the time. They can't keep it in.
Okay, Pete, will he come back, do you think?
Yeah, he'll come back strapped heavily, Ed, but he'll need it operated.
Mercury. Alessio takes it to the boundary line. Franchina there. Johnson gives him a bit of a shove over the line and out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. The Blues have kicked the last 4 goals of the game for Favola. The last goal of the second quarter. Whitnell, Cooter and Fisher have kicked the first 3 and only goals of this third term, and they've turned around a 15-point half-time deficit and made it a 3-point advantage. Here's a chance for Favola. He knocks it forward. Johnson just got a hand on the ball. Here's a chance now as Cupido goes for the ball with Essendon. Welsh off the ground, close to the boundary line. Throw in at half-forward flank for the Carlton side.
It's a great game within a game, Dermot, between Favola and Fletcher. You picked it up early. There's Sean Wellman, who's still getting that finger worked on. We shouldn't laugh at that either. That is a painful thing.
Yes, you can.
All right, you can.
Throw in there, the ruckman got the tap, it comes down to Camporelli, just dragged off the ball as he got his kick. Hickmott's there for Carlton, couldn't quite hold it. Front and square is Hume, dives in on top of it. They lock him up, umpire gives them all a chance, now have a bounce.
You saw 2 boundary line throw-ins ago. McPhee went against Koutafidis, and Koutafidis just absolutely mauled him. If you get him one out at these bounce downs, Alessio's down there now, so it won't happen here.
Bounce in the pocket then. The Blues breathing fire. Whitnell knocks it towards the boundary line. Mark Johnson gets a hand pass away. McPhee, the former Docker, needs to be precise. Oh, cool head. Barnard lays it off. Jacobs drives it up towards the wing. You take a risk and you may be rewarded. This is McVeigh. McVeigh drives inside the 50, turns the defence around. Lloyd almost a free kick, nothing doing. Thornton looking for one, it's out of bounds. It'll be tossed in, and really have the Bombers gone forward. They've started this term looking heavily sedated.
Good effort, Brett Thornton, on that occasion. A really good effort. Yeah, it looked like Lloyd had him under the footy and he fought on really well.
Carlton have been inside 55 times this quarter for 3 goals. The Bombers will count that as an inside 50 and make that number 3 for no shots at goal. Still no shots at goal as the Cooter runs it out from full back. This is a dangerous kick as well, but he hit him on the chest and Lappin was good enough. Camporelli's galloped into the clear. The kick from Lappin was ordinary though. It'll get up to Camporelli, not the way he would have liked it. He got the handball away. Hume came in support. That's gone. Umpire said play on, no opportunity. Good decision. McVeigh over the top. Lappin attacked him. We'll have a throw in. And this is now game on, boys. Carlton 63, Bombers 60.
And that's the difference. If Dennis Pagan another 6 weeks, Lappin may not make that first mistake by foot. If he didn't, then Camporelli was away into space and maybe they had another scoring opportunity. That's the difference between a Carlton at the bottom end of the ladder and pushing up into the 8.
But I suppose the difference as well, Gary, was the fact that Lappin got up and smothered it over the line as well. Made up for his own mess. McPhee tried to break through. Franchina, they're all locked up. It's tight in the clinches now. as you'd expect between these two great clubs.
Right, thanks, guys.
3 points the difference, Carlton in front.
Going straight out again, guys. Take a step back.
Cole Kinnear, Dennis Pagan, Adrian Gallagher.
In the face. Right tackle, Carlton ball.
Definitely unsettled Essendon, having Wellman go off. They're having to play Scotty Lucas at full back now. And next to him is Welsh. So for a full back line, inexperienced.
French around the outer side. Big pack at the drop. McKay tried to force a passage. Got the hand pass away. Spawned. O'Houlihan settles. 40 metres out. Oh, that would have been a big one. Behind. Or is it a free? He's waiting for the all clear. He's got it now. Houlihan was waiting for a free, hoping there was a push in the back. Nothing doing.
Carlton zone reacts slow here, so they shouldn't have too much problem finding a target here, Essendon.
Ramanauskas. Short of half back. Lucas deep in his own defensive area. Oops. Ramanauskas. Fletcher. 3 on 2. The 3 prevail. Interesting kick out towards the wing. Reynolds will need to go out number 3 on 1. Reynolds lacking support. Kicks it back towards the middle. Not a bad result. McKay got through. Slick hands. Hume spears a pass towards half forward. Camporelli in space. Goes long for Bowler. Getting back Jacobs. Well, was it in time? Has he paid the marker a free kick? I think it's a free.
Tune in.
Just there, Dustin. Just there, Brendan, that's it.
Gee, it's an interesting one. He didn't appear to have it for long enough.
Oh, yes, he did.
Yep, good call, Dennis.
Well, that's Fletcher just rolling the dice, trying to play into that middle of the ground, letting Favola go. And on that occasion, he paid the price because Favola had about 20 metres on him. He closes well, but not that well.
Normally it's Wellman who can be the quarterback inside defensive 50.
Bowler's got 3. 10 metres in from the line. She's a powerful kick. Slices it through the breeze.
You called before, Gary, what a great thing confidence is. Now, if you got confidence winning the ball, some strange reason you get confidence the way you kick it as well. And you mentioned also another thing about Brendan Favola saying, well, you'd have to say he's arrived tonight if he kicks a bag on Fletcher. I reckon he's arrived before. He just goes away all too frequently. You know, he's got that talent, but when he stands up on the best full back of the last 10 years...
Favola comes in and kicks goal number 4. The Blues have kicked the last 5 of the match, and Favola has kicked 2 of them. Disposals this quarter, Carlton 31 to Essendon 20. Cooter and Camporelli 4 each.
Free kick.
Bombers get a free kick out of the centre.
James, no advantage. Let go.
Alessio goes out wide. Jacobs kicks inside 50. Cupido on the stretch, couldn't hold the mark. Beautiful play, but it's smothered. Beaumont does it well, gets it out to Franchina.
Yep.
Smothered off the boot. Lance Whitnell says, takes it just over the line out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. Tony Jones.
Well, Eddie, Kevin Sheedy's certainly not short of a word through the week. One of the points he made, amazingly, he was saying that he would have snapped up Brendan Favola in the draft had he gone on the market at the end of last season, but he might have given him too much of a buck up.
Tap over the top was a good one. Bombers inside 50. Lucas, no 15. Umpire says play on. Oh, that's in the back. Free kick to the Bombers. Ramanauskas will take it. So a bit sloppy, the tackle, and the umpires are red hot on any push in the back.
Yeah, I reckon the umpires have been pretty good tonight. They've been consistent, put it that way. 17 frees, Essendon, Carlton 16.
Just going to say, it's a lot of frees, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but they've kept paying them all night, haven't they?
Yeah.
So that's one thing, I guess, from a playing point of view. As long as you know what's coming, you can play to that.
You think back to last season, though. Wouldn't get 33 in a game, not even close.
Big kick.
So Ramanauskas to end the run of 5 goals in a row for the Blues. Kick is on its way. It won't be a goal. It's across the face. And Adam Ramanauskas has now kicked 1 goal 3.
What a transformation has come over this game. 9 points the margin. Carlton, they trail by 15. It was out to 22 about 5 minutes before half time.
Murph will go right. That's where 90% of his players are.
Long kick too, well outside the 50. Alessio behind Merrington. Takes the mark. It'll take 2 kicks to go back. Alessio in 2 minds. Short. McVeigh stretches. He's marked 45 metres out.
It's about this stage of the first quarter that Carlton got away. Remember, kicked those first 3 goals and then Essendon slowly peeled them back. And this has got a little bit of a familiar feel about it. They've jumped out again. Carlton been ultra impressive, and now the Bombers just starting to get a bit of the footy again.
Right, McVeigh goes from right on the 50, trying to work it back left to right. Not sufficiently. Behind. The Bombers creep closer. The margin 8 points. 70 plays 62. Third term. MCG Friday Night Football. 2 old rivals going at it. Seemed a mismatch on paper. Not proving that way. Camporelli. High ball. French reaches over the top. Dropped in front. Lappin. McKay. Left half back towards centre wing. Hume. Well done. Controlled it. Found it. Hand passes to Spawn. He's running. Kicks inside the 50. They've got dangerous forwards. Alessio went back. Welsh a hand pass over the top. Reynolds. Welsh arriving quickly. Hume slides. Hand passes away. Spawn under pressure. Jams it on the boot. Well stopped Alessio from one knee as if receiving a knighthood. Got it to Remanowskis. Across it comes to Fletcher. The moment has passed or has it? The tackler went past. Mercury back to Alessio. Sir Stephen, he kicks it outside the 50. Reynolds, well done, comes away with dash.
The grandson of Sir Richard kicks it forward up towards Camporelli, who's nabbed. Umpire says no chance, ball up.
Gee, I'd love to see the Mercury hand pass down there in the goal square when he got confronted by a couple of Carlton players, but gee, they've had a lot of the footy.
Poor night, Mercury, 6 possessions.
Solomon over the top. Beaumont legged. No, umpire says play on. Here's Cupido. Found space where there was none into the open goal, and Cupido kicks it his first. 2 points of difference.
He's a nice mover, Damien Cupido Doom. He's just not quite having as much of the footy as you'd like, but he has been pretty well a permanent forward pocket. But when he gets it, something happens. Either he hits a teammate, or, as you see here, he's a beautiful finisher.
Really watched the ball there, Cooter, didn't he? And not the awareness that his opponent, his man, nearest opponent, was going to get it. Didn't lay a tackle.
Now, Gary, you've asked to see the handball. Here it is.
I did. He was confronted by 2. That is a dead set boundary throw in.
That should have been a free kick to the Blues. Doesn't matter, it's a goal to the Bombers, and it's 2 points of difference. And Alessio has lifted for the Bombers. Out comes McVeigh. Does the big U-turn. Straightens up now. The kick was smothered. Another chance now for Franchina of Carlton. He has players up the wing if he can get set. He does. He kicks up to White. Needed to take the mark and did.
Essendon are trusting Mark Johnson at fullback in the goal square on Hickmott now. Rolled the dice, and they've got Lucas back at centre-half forward.
Inside the last 10 minutes of the third quarter, it's the Blues hanging on to a 2-point lead, and Alessio starting to dominate in this quarter. To Fletcher. Kick was smothered. Back to that man Alessio again, who tumble punts it up towards the half-forward flank position. Really was against 3. 7 possessions for Alessio this quarter. Solomon breaks the tackle, left foot kick around the body, finds the target. Beautiful diving mark to Andrew Welsh, and the Bombers can be back in front if he kicks straight from 35 metres directly in front.
How good was the kick from Solomon, and how good was the mark here by Rioli? He's a good player, Dean Rioli, no question about that. What's this left foot kick though? This is an absolute sizzler. That is a beautiful kick.
Cooter picked up 4 possessions in the opening 5 or 6 minutes, and Carlton slammed a few quick ones on the board. Hasn't touched it in the last 6 or 7 minutes, Cooter.
Andrew Welsh has kicked 1 career goal. This is game number 17 as he lines up to put Essendon back in front against Carlton at the MCG. Kick is on its way. He has kicked 2 career goals, and the Bombers lead by 4 points.
Well, I think it is Stephen Alessio who has just turned this back around again, and from all reports last week he was similarly impressive against Melbourne. It's Barnaby French has he's got to go now. He has to get, he's been on the bench, he came on about 4 or 5 minutes ago, so got to get up, he's got to jump all over Alessio and play him and run him around the ground.
Third in the back line.
It's been a game of runs, and Essendon making theirs now. 11-8, 10-10. Alessio again boots it down towards half forward. Cupido, clever. Solomon, hasn't he come back well? Tries to ride at home and hit the red bit.
Extra?
Flush. Should be.
Wizard Cup rule they might introduce it.
Like straws tinged with lipstick there, those goalposts. And that took it high and flush as we go down to TJ.
Sean Wellman back on the bench for the Bombers and, in fact, back on the ground.
Murphy out to the members' side. Beaumont over the top. Rioli. Ball up. 8 minutes ago in this third term. What a game we've got. Bombers 75, Carlton 70. As Dennis said, it has come in runs. Carlton kicked the first 3 of the game. Essendon the next 3. Carlton the next 2. Bombers the next 6. Carlton the next 5. And now Essendon the next 2. About to be 3 as Ramanauskas, no. Didn't straighten up. Kicks up towards the goal square. Cupido was there, but it's through for a point. And Ramanauskas has now kicked 1 goal 4 for the evening.
He should have kicked that, Adam Ramanauskas. He really should have kicked that goal. He's a good enough player. I think he took it a bit too easy.
Alessio is just picking them off here. Carlton have gone long every kick in. They've got a couple of shorts this time, which they haven't had on offer before. One straight up the middle there, but same again. They go long and Alessio's reading it.
It's like old-time football, isn't it? Kick it out to the ruckman at half-back flank. Over the top of the pack, charges on. Lucas does well. Good tackle, though, from Spawn. It spills. Here's a chance for McCormick. Ran back into trouble, then offloaded it to Lappin. One-handed, knocked it out. Spawn's there. Good Shepherd, allowed for Vola to boot it into the centre of the ground. Good kick and good mark there by Hume. Hume. Whoops. Hasn't got the leg speed to do that and is gone. Ramanauskas has got him. And Ramanauskas takes the free kick.
Great tackle.
Tackles have been 35 Bombers, 29 Carlton tonight. Ramanauskas now, thumping left foot kick right up the middle of the ground. Up goes Lloyd rather. Ball comes to the ground. Wiggins. Hickmott. Goes the kick instead of the handball. Good play out to Houlihan on centre wing. Whitnell's about the only target for him. He goes up towards Lance, who runs towards the boundary line, and it'll beat him over the line and out of bounds. We'll have a throw in pretty much on the forward 50 for the Blues. We've got 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in this quarter, the third term. It's 75-70. The Bombers by 76-70 rather. It's the Bombers by a goal.
Cooter doesn't get down the back half too often, do him?
No, it's all pretty one-way traffic from the centre forward. But he's sprinting a fair bit, which is good.
French did well to Hume. Throws it on the boot. It wanders down towards the goal line, through for a behind.
Don't want Humey to end up with it within shot of goal. I mean, he'll have a dig for you, but when it comes to having a ping at him, someone else, please.
Oops. Oh, Solomon had it bounce off his chest. Houlihan to White. Oh, doesn't that punish them? His first.
When there's a little bit going on, and I'm not sure that Dean Solomon, I think it might have been Ryan Houlihan who went and ruffled his hair.
Leave it at that, guys.
I'm not sure whether that's the wisest move he's ever made in his life, Ryan Houlihan.
Yeah, give it a run.
Yeah, well, good luck to him, I say.
Deft little touch the back of Houlihan's palm, though. He just pushed it out of the way of the Bomber opponent.
And a nice old argy-bargy after that intercept and goal to Waite. And the Blues are back in front by a point. Ineffective kicks. The Bombers have been costly. 22 for the night. Carlton 13. And the Blues are back in front. 6 minutes to go in this third term.
Bombers are stacking the back half, Ed.
Thanks.
Here we go again. What a great night. Friday night football, perfect football conditions as Rioli gets it out of the centre for Essendon up towards Lloyd, who caught one right in the mush, to use Derm's vernacular. Lappin wasn't sure whether to go or just cover. Covered in the end as Peverill knocked it forward. Here's Beaumont close to the boundary line, looking for the boundary line and finding it. We'll have a throw in 55 metres out from the Essendon goal.
You mentioned Jason Johnson earlier in the call. He's had a very quiet night, quietest night I can remember for a long, long time. Just 6 possessions, and Wiggins has got to take some of the credit for that. He'd been running with him.
He has tag teamed with Darren Hume. Hume had him for the first quarter and a half.
It's a great effort. I mean, he's a ball magnet, Jason Johnson.
Franchina going to the ground. Camporelli taken down strongly. He'll be tossed in. Blues by a point. Approaching 3/4 time. The underdogs looking strong at the moment. Upset brewing, maybe. Tossed in. Whitnell. Alessio fell in front. Franchina smothered off the boot. Lappin, interesting. Out of bounds again.
Now, Alessio is just going to be too big for any opponent here. So what Lance should do is make it obvious to Alessio, I'm backdooring, I'm running into the centre, I'm going to be dangerous. Try and drag Alessio away and leave Koutafidis for the boundary line throw-in against McPhee.
Whitnell goes down. He's going to get a free kick. Is advantage paid? Yes, it is. Franchina. Camporelli kicks inside the 50. Ghosting across in front of the pack there was Hickmott. And the ball spills out of bounds despite the efforts of Houlihan. This term heard 2 possessions. Lloyd hasn't had one.
Let's go down to Tony Jones, boundary side.
Yeah, a few drops of rain have started, and judging by the latest radar, it's only going to get heavier. So hopefully the bulk of it holds off until the end of the game anyway.
Throw in. Camporelli getting amongst it. Oh, gee, it's a game of centimetres this one, isn't it? Ramanauskas. What could have been a shot at goal for Carlton 30 metres out is suddenly in the forward 50 for the Bombers. And Lloyd's the man who's got it, looking for the free kick. Hume does it well. At the back to McKay. Now Carlton have got players on here. Left, right and centre. Waite's taken the mark. Close to a 50 because there's 2 players downfield. Half volley, Spawn goes at it. Stripped of the ball. Now's the turnover. No free kick. Umpire said grab without the ball. And Spawn will take it on centre wing for Carlton. Just held on the tackle too long on that occasion, Andrew Welsh. 18 free kicks apiece. Hurd.
All right, Barnaby. Come on, Barnaby. You got to lift, son. You've at least got to make him earn it.
Hurd off one step. Out towards Lucas, who'll let it over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in. What do you mean by that, Gary, when you say make it earn it?
Well, there's James Hurd, who's missed most of last week with a thigh injury. There was a perfect opportunity to legitimately spoil the ball and take the body in a forceful manner.
Oh, you were dirty.
Hurd's running back now into the fence, playing as a... trying to be a loose man, although he's been dragged down into the back pocket by his opponent down there in Hickmott. Now he's called for the change, and Hurd moving forward. Ball up centre wing, southern stand side of the MCG, ticking into the last 4 minutes of this vital 3rd quarter. And Carlton hang on by a point. Beautiful tap. It comes down to Beaumont. Right foot hook around the body. Hurd couldn't hold the mark, but look at that.
His feet.
Did it beautifully. Back to Wellman with the dislocated finger. Running out of space and options, but he does it well. Around the body. Outside 50 the ball goes. Plenty of Bombers there. Rioli couldn't hold it. Hume goes to ground. He's locked up. Ball up. And that's what the umpire says. Good play all round. Hard bodies. Hard attacking football. And this is a good arm wrestle now.
It's a beauty. I reckon Lance Whitnell's has done a good enough job on Danny Jacobs to take him down inside 51 out. Certainly close enough to goal. I reckon that would be a good move for Carlton. He's in good form, Lance. They've got to make the most of it.
Beaumont knocked it down. Lucas hand passes back into the congestion. Hume certainly puts his body about, dives on top of it.
Thanks, guys.
Ball up.
If there was a stat in this game for the last man up off the bottom of every pack, I reckon Hume is leading there at the moment, and he probably earned a free kick there.
He probably did. Lucas tries to knock it away. Hume again, inspirational. Franchina gets the spill, hooks it down towards full foot, backing back McPhee, spills wide. Hurd getting busy now. Wellman, Solomon, some experience there. Swings it out wide towards the wing. Speaking of experience, McKay did well. Knocked it to White. Needed his dad's experience there. Welsh paddles it to his own advantage. Kept it alive. Tried to give it across to Hill. Well played, White. Houlihan heads for the boundary. It goes out. Deliberate, says the umpire.
But why? Why would he need to?
He could have just booted it forward.
Well done, Waite. That was a great effort, Jared Waite. That was like 2-on-2 at training.
Houlihan there, did he panic, or should he just, when in doubt, kick it long into the forward 50, isn't it?
Tried to be safe, didn't he? Tried to not give it away to the opposition, even forward.
Lloyd's first kick of the term wasn't a good one, and Lappin got up and took it on his chest.
Stay out, Adam. Come out with your man. Thank
Blues
you.
trying to be disciplined, which is the good thing for the young players.
Bit of a pagan stamp on it, isn't he?
Yep. Lappin's 9th possession. Inside 2 minutes, the Blues desperate to go in front at three-quarter time. Beautiful kick to Beaumont on centre wing. Can they sneak one more? No one on the mark, so Beaumont takes off. Probably gets another 5 to 10 metres up towards Favoli. Went early. Hickmott finds some space. It comes out to Camporelli.
Pagan's
and
paddock.
it's on. Pagan's paddock is wide open. Carlton have got a big chance. Wiggins kicked his feet. Can he kick the goal? Impossible angle. He now squares it back. Good play. No, just past Favola to Lappin. Lappin to Favola. Can the big man kick it? No. Smothered from Dustin Fletcher. Ramanaskas under pressure. Fletcher looking for the boundary line. Lappin's still got it. Carlton is still alive. 1 minute 10 left on the clock. Favola. Pressure is enormous. It comes out to Hickmott. It comes back to Houlihan. Houlihan around the body. Up to the goal square it goes. Punched over the line and out of bounds. Hoo-wee! Pressure's enormous. 1 minute to go in the quarter. It's the Blues by a point.
Well, Hurd's the obvious one who can gobble up the ball and just inch it forward for the Bombers. If Cooter's in the vicinity, he's the one who gets a lot of clean takeaways. If he can get it and get a snap on, he's the man for Carlton.
Well, as Nelly would say, it's hot in here. Behind the pack, a chance for Hume. Missed it. McCormick throws it on the boot. Howell it bounced. Solomon did well. Hard against the boundary line. Not well enough. Out of bounds on the full.
Well, they should know now that there's only 48 seconds. They've got to try and set something up.
Gee whiz.
Once you cross the line, it's play on,
Hume
lads.
was there for a long time.
Yeah, and he would have gone to anyone else.
Yes, Whitnell. I thought it was much closer to goal. Whitnell goes long. Big leg Fletcher. Wellman making light of that injured finger. Slaps it across the line. Behind then. Clock stops at 39 seconds. Carlton lead it by 2.
Now, this is really dangerous here. Essendon aren't bad at going the length of a field. If they can find something, it's going to travel. If they can get it up to about 20 metres outside their defensive 50 here, it's going to travel the next 100 very quickly.
Haven't had a goal for 8 minutes in this quarter as McPhee opens it right up. Here's a chance for the Bombers now, trailing by 2 points. Lucas decided to kick to his mate in the stand out here in the smokers area. Good play by Barnard. He was dacked by McCormack.
Oh,
don't
stiffer.
argue. Yeah. Barnard gone. Umpire says play on. And we'll have a ball up, and that should just about see us at the three-quarter time. And are we in for a cracker between Carlton and Essendon?
What's the forearm?
Let's go back this way, guys.
Yep, fair enough. Kept his arm up to protect himself.
Yep, that's
Didn't
all right.
really shove it in his face. Ball up, and there is the siren. Whew. 2-point ball game. The Blues kicked 5 goals to 2. In that all-important third quarter, they have kicked 6 of the last 8 goals kicked in the match. And at three-quarter time, as James Hurd goes back to compose his team, it's Essendon 11-10-76. The underdog Blues 11-12-78. It's Carlton by 2 points.
Dislocating the finger. We'll need work after it today.
Thank God it wasn't 2. Let's get on with it. It's a 2-point ball game. Carlton lead the Bombers.
Start of the final term on Friday Night Football. Barnard ferrets it across to Ramanauskas. Goes with the right boot. Lucas spilt it. Beaumont comes away. Lappin.
Alessio down the line behind play. That's what's held him up with his kick here.
Lappin goes for distance. Whitnell works in front. Had it firsted away. Taken by Cooter. The looping hand pass. Houlihan released. Hard against the line. French dropped it. In trouble. Alessio too nimble initially. The 2 big guys go after it. Houlihan, comic relief. Gets a hand pass across to Murphy. Murphy from 60. Hickmott deep in the pocket, but only about 10 metres out.
Very, very impressed with Brad Fisher as a footy player, and his work off the footy here. He summed this up beautifully. He summed it up quickly. He stayed out of the contest, but made sure his opponent couldn't get a fist into it. He's a good young player.
Hickmott in, slips as he kicks. I think he might have missed. No, he's got it. He wasn't convinced. That's his first.
Great start, Dermot, again. They have been starting each quarter, probably save for the second, very, very well indeed. And that one just had to go across the line if you're an Essendon player for a defender. Just watch the work of Fisher if we get it on screen. You watch it to the right. He engages his opponent there, just on the right of screen, Welsh, and allows Hickmott to mark uncontested.
Got lost Wellman, turned his back on the ball again.
Carlton have kicked the first goal of every quarter in this game, and that was a vital one. Suddenly they lead by 8 points. McPhee for Essendon. Up to the punt road end, which has been the scoring end. Out comes Lloyd. Gets the handball off to Rioli. Rioli does the big U-turn, then back onto the right foot, looking for Lloyd, who kept running. Great play. That was good play as well by Thornton. He got it down to Spawn. Carlton growing in confidence. Lappin diving mark. He holds it. The umpire says, take your kick, son.
Gone to him 2 times out on the wing this quarter already.
13th disposal coming up for Matthew Lappin. Top spin kick. Hard one to mark. Solomon uses his brute force to get it up to Ramanaskas. Inside 50, looking for Lloyd. Over the head of the champion full forward. The race is on. Spawn. Hurd took him to ground, which was good play. Barnard hard at it. Hurd kept his feet and kept going and then kicked it round the body. Dangerous play for the Blues. Up they go. Lloyd at the back, kept his feet open. Goal bounce, misses. And Matthew Lloyd has now kicked 2 goals, 2 for the evening.
Take your hat off to Brett Thornton, who has just hung in there. Only 2 goals to Lloyd to this stage.
Gee, Hurd, he laboured out to that one.
Beaumont to himself. Now drives it well outside the 50. Mark Johnson, almost the mark. Franchina did well. This is Murphy. On his own defensive 50, kicks it up towards the wing. Whitnell comes hard, uses the body brilliantly. Play on's the call. Solomon, well, they all stopped there thinking it was a mark. It comes to Peveril, across to Lloyd, 75 metres out from goal. High ball inside the 50. Beaumont from behind. McPhee knocks it goalward. Chance for Rioli. Camporelli put the body in. Ramanaskas wants his left foot. Cost him dearly. He slipped over. In goes McKay. Upended down there Thornton. Jams it on the boot. Did well. Got it to Murphy. Murphy with some time at half back. Comes out wide. French. Forward of right half back. Bumped as he kicked. Found a man. Houlihan on the wing. Lappin wants it wider. He's got it now. Lappin running down towards right half forward. Favola wants it long. Goes in that direction. Fletcher very conscious of him. Falls at the back. Wellman gets back. Runs in front of goal. Pops it out wide. They've got the numbers. In fact, it's 3-on-1 and the one is a fair way from them. Jason Johnson drew a man. Now Ramanaskas goes down towards half forward.
Up to the forward 50, out comes Lloyd. It's a bad bounce over the line and out of bounds, and this game is now red hot. 16 minutes and 19 seconds of feverish football in this final term. 11-11-77, 12-12-84. It's 7 points of difference in favour of the underdogs Carlton. 2 Friday nights in a row the Blues have come out to play against the old enemies. Last week they failed by 16 points. Tonight they're in the box seat if they can hang on. 18 possessions each this quarter for both teams. Alessio, who was great in the third quarter, gets it out to Jason Johnson. Tried to break the tackle. Out to Lloyd. Dispossessed. Knocks it out to Mark Johnson. Finds some space. No, Murphy closes him down. It comes out the back again. Spawn and Prendergast combine. It goes out wide. Houlihan takes the mark. Blues fans get to their feet. Houlihan on centre wing. Kicks up towards the half-forward flank position. Out they come. Lance Whitnell is lifting. Whitnell's kick inside 50. Out they come. Hickmott used his body. Opened the path. Chance now for the Blues. Coming through was Franchina, but it's turned over. Lucas now. Essendon have got runners left, right and centre. One of them is this man, Mark Johnson. Puts it out in front of Hurd. Half volley. Look at Hurd. Composure. Great play. Beats Spawn. Then a little toe poke to the pocket. Opens it up for Lloyd. Opens it up for Cupido. Then the door closes with Lappin and a rush behind. Oh, it's a goal the difference with 15 and a half left on the clock.
He's got around Spawn too easy. Hurdy out here on the half-forward flank. Spawn just had to keep him on the defensive side. Just watch this. He shouldn't have gone then. Spawn had to hold up.
Him up, didn't you?
Yeah, stand his ground.
Out of defence, Camporelli hoisted high towards the wing. McKay, a blemish, goes after it. Johnson got him, but not before he hand passed to Koutafidis. Koutafidis towards half forward. Ninth. Gathered by Fisher, he pulls it back inside the 50. Big fist down there from Jacobs. Diving on top of it, McVeigh. Wellman takes them on. in trouble. Down he went. Hume's over the football. It's locked in there, and it's not coming out. We'll have a ball up about 65 out from goal.
Gee, I thought Sean Wellman had a good look at him here. Tucked it under the arm.
That is a shocking decision.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you know that Hurd's going to be good. You know that Cooter will find it. This game's almost going to be decided between the battle of Lappin and Ramanascus out on the other wing.
Jason Johnson knocked it forward. Mark Johnson short to the wing. Barnard too slick. McPhee finds it inside the centre square. Half smothered. Ricochets across to Ramanascus. He's been good. Kicks inside the 50. Working hard. Cupido spills behind. 26 possessions now for Hurd. Back to Cupido. Wonderful finish. Peveril 40 metres out directly in front.
He's got a golden boot, Cupido, in terms of assists for goals. If we had that stat, he would be right up there, I think, tonight. Hurd again involved. He's had a huge influence on this match, whichever way you look at it, in the middle or forward.
A goal to tie the scores. It's home. It's 84 apiece.
Well, boys, it was a big free kick not paid.
A big non-free kick. Now's the time when you say to yourself, as a player of the ilk of Anthony Koutafoutis, I don't care that I'm meant to be running back into form. I don't care that people say I'm a couple of weeks off my best. You've just got to produce now for your team. You've just got to put one on the board for your club.
13 minutes and 40 seconds left, and scores a level in the final term at the MCG. Alessio again gets it out of the centre. He kicks inside 50 for the Bombers. Free kick, was it? No, says the umpire against McKay. Here's Cupido again. Strips one tackle, gets away a second time. Umpire says, rubbing the ball. Carlton free kick. Andrew McKay.
Their tackling has been sensational, the Blues. They've been great tonight. The Carlton, they have absolutely had a crack and just kept coming.
Scores level as Beaumont kicks up towards Koutafoutis. Off the hands of the pack. Lappin's there. Went the don't argue on Solomon, who threw him to the ground. Solomon flicks it out. A chance for McPhee. Gets it off to Barnard. Barnard further afield as Ramanascus thumps it inside 50. Getting back as Beaumont. Hard one to mark, and he did it well.
Just short of half-back Simon Beaumont. 84 apiece. Plenty of time. What a thriller. Goes towards the outer side. Whitnell a target, and why not? Forced to spoil that time. Knocks it out of bounds.
It's getting a bit far away from goal, I reckon, Lance Whitnell.
They've dried up, though. They've lost their run, Carlton, at the moment. There's the possession time in the match.
Scores level. They've had it for 41% of the time.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Knocked down by French. Murphy comes away. Gets a hand pass across to Prendergast. Goes for distance, miscues slightly. Houlihan runs out of it, makes it look okay. He's forward of the wing, kicks inside the 50. The bowler, the target, launches himself. Couldn't hang on. Down goes Welsh, close to the boundary line. Kept in by Fisher. No, across the line. And the boundary umpire had a very good angle on that one. Fisher falling to the ground, trying to bend it back inside the field of play. Watch it again. Oh, as tight as it gets.
It's got to be completely to the outside.
You reckon it was in or out?
Yeah, it's in.
Yep, it was in.
Three Carlton blokes were lined up at the end of that footy, 25 metres out from goal.
Where was that boundary umpire in 79?
I was waiting for that call, Ed. I was giving you every chance.
Scores level. Look at this as Johnson runs it out. McPhee back to Johnson. Mark Johnson, handball over the top. They're dead tired out there at the moment. Jason Johnson thumping right foot kick inside 50, but getting back and taking a mark is Trent Spawn. And I tell you what, they've had the fire put to their belly, some of these Carlton defenders tonight, and they have stood tall. Spawn has been fantastic. Up to the half-forward flank, over the line and out of bounds. Inside 50s for the quarter. Essendon 11, Carlton 5. And they've stood resolute, the Carlton defence. Young Carlton defence.
He's worn out, James Hurd. He's still so dangerous when they get it to him. He just knows how to get it. This is where Cooter's got to exert here. He's only got McPhee to go against in the ruck. He's got to take it out of the ruck here.
Tossed in then. Did exactly that, as per instructions, Dermot. Got it to Hume, to Camporelli. Little chip inside the 50. Well, they took a risk at the boundary throw-in, and they could see the lead slip from their grasp.
And Lance, this is great call from Dermot here. He did exactly the right thing. And Lance Whitnell closer to goal. He's just got to get back inside 50.
Whitnell has booted
Close.
2-5 tonight, making 3-5. He's taken 8 marks, but more importantly, he's given the Blues the lead.
The thing I really liked about this kick from Camporelli too, a younger Scotty Camporelli would have kicked a left footer or kicked one around the corner on the move here to avoid full body contact, but he accepts, I'm going to straighten the body and take a tackle so I can get the ball straight down where I really want it to go and hit the target. So, I mean, sometimes that's a team play, just to take the hit. Much better than kicking around corners.
2 goals to 1 this quarter, and the Blues lead by a kick, 6 points. 11 minutes left in the game. Ramanauskas just thumps it out. Great play by Barnard. Here come the Bombers. McPhee needs to keep his feet. He does. Has a good look up. Back to Barnard. McVeigh, usually a beautiful kick, puts it out in front of his great mate Lloyd. He was best man at Lloyd's wedding. He served that one up on a plate for the superstar from Windy Hill. Big kick to make the scores live. We can see the rain starting to really fall. Tony Jones, can you give us a bit of a weather update down on the boundary side?
Yeah, no, it's really starting to come down heavy now, Eddie, and as I said, the latest information suggests it is only going to get heavier. Fortunately, we're going to beat the worst of it, I think.
All right, the last 10 minutes, as if there wasn't enough pressure. Lloyd's had 4 marks tonight and kicked 2 goals too. He's going to have to go 53 metres on this one. Won't make it distance-wise. Hurd almost pinched it on the line, through for a rush behind. So it's a 5-point ball game.
Oh, it's a beauty. It's been a great game, actually. It's had everything. Been beaten tonight, Matthew Lloyd, by Thornton, I think. He's made 1 or 2 blues, Brett Thornton, but he's going to learn from those. He's played on a couple of good plays 2 weeks running.
Camporelli to himself. Decides to go long to the southern stand. Up comes Barnaby French. Goes up high. Good play by McKay. Front and square. Kicks it up towards the wing position. Out they come. Good play by Favola over the top. Hume will go hard. So too did Ramanauskas, who flicks it out. That was beautiful play by Ramanauskas. Solomon on hands and knees and backside and then flicks it on. Good play by Hume. Just got the fingernail that was required. Off the ground goes Jason Johnson. Nothing fancy now, boys. This is trench warfare. In they go. Mercury. Good play again by Thornton. Flicks it out to Waite. The young player in his second game. The kick was a ripper to Murphy. Traps it inside the boundary line. Looks up and thumps it long. That's the order of the day now. Whitnell gets to the front. Here it comes. Hickmott is there. Picked up by Fletcher. Handball along the boundary line, as Dennis would say, was centimetre perfect. And the umpire says throw it in. Carlton fans said, how about the intentional? Not at this stage of the game. 9.5 minutes left. Blues by 5 points.
And it's going to be a very handy lead. This rain is getting heavier and heavier. There's probably only going to be another couple of goals kicked in this match.
Passed in out of side. Alessio exposes it behind the pack, if you don't mind. Houlihan centering kick. Fisher almost. Spilt to Lucas. Kicks to the paddock, then on the wing. Foot race. Prendergast off the deck. It spills towards the line and goes out. Ramanauskas hurt on the other side of the ground, limping, and the rain is getting heavier.
He could be. I reckon he is going to be the match winner for Essendon should they get up Ramanauskas.
Close to best on ground right now.
Yeah, they put Murphy over onto him now, taking Lappin away.
Oh, cop that. Beaumont should have got a free kick. Jason Johnson will. Bulldog there by Waite.
Starting to get a little bit of footy this quarter, Jason Johnson.
Spots Rioli. Goes in that direction. Set him a task, in fact, that cleared him. Bounces off the chest of Lloyd, who goes again. Prendergast will have been legged. He's going to get the free kick. Up from centre half back. Oh. Whoops. Just got it. Camporelli towards half forward. Roundhouse there from Whitnell. McVeigh at the back with some time. That's precise. Mercury. Normally precise as well. This is no exception. Rioli released inside the 50, lines up, wills it through, misses. Son of a gun.
2 goals, 3 to Dean Rioli, and we're down to a 4-point ball game.
Some serious rain out here, and the ball will get wet and slippery and hard to handle, and it'll be scrubbed off the ground, and packs will form, and the boys are tired.
So what do you do?
Hang on to that 4 points for dear life at the moment. Another goal here, either way, is just ultra valuable.
But Camporelli decides to get as much distance from full-back as possible. It might come straight back in. No, good play by Hume. That's the sort of football that Gary Lyons called for. Good play by Favola. Read it, then beat his man. 2 bounces, then loses it. Little toe poke was magnificent inside to Houlihan. The mercurial one, will he have a shot? He does, and he puts it right through the middle. Kicks his second, does the chainsaw, and so he should, because that is a ripper.
You wouldn't believe it. You know, when you play footy, sometimes you think, right, take a bounce or I'll go for a handball here, and halfway through execution, you think, oh my God, why did I try that? That's actually gone through Favola's mind right about now, but you know what it did? It drew that man where he was never going to draw him any other way, because it was a real error. Essendon opponent there read that he could get to it.
Well, after a summer of discontent, it's fitting it could end in the rain. Look at this, Houlihan and the Blues. Is it a match-winning lead? They're up by 10 points. Still plenty of time. Rocks go at it again. Hill had it, lost it. McPhee missed it. Hume in the thick of the action. Sends it very high. Houlihan inspired. Peverill on his knees. Taken by Favola. Back to Hume. Kicks inside the 50. Bombers need to hold. Knocked away by Welsh. Over the top goes Hickmott. What happened?
We've lost the light stand. A bank of lights have gone out at the Ponsford stand end. Dennis, we're going at half candle rate at the moment.
Meanwhile, Johnson goes to Johnson.
You go off the light.
Short of the wing. Chips it across the ground towards half-back and Peverill inside the centre square. Peverill plays on, goes down towards half-forward, and the mark is taken by McPhee just inside the centre square. Peverill runs on, kicks inside the 50, up in front Lloyd, and that is a wonderful mark. Slippery ball. A man arriving quickly. There was contact, but it wasn't jarred free.
Well, the Bombers have got the experience playing in the dark. They did it against St Kilda out at Waverley, of course.
There they are, Light Tower 5. They are gone, and it's not a matter of just climbing up on your chair and changing a light bulb.
What about this?
Good hands.
Oh, that is a
solid pair of hands there.
And that kick from Houlihan up the end, we just don't underestimate that either. To hit that perfectly took a lot of skill.
Driving rain. Lloyd looking to steer it through. And he's missed.
Now that gives you an idea just how good that Houlihan kick was. He hit that as sweet as any kick for the night in these conditions.
Well, when there's water on the ball, there's water on your boot, it gets very slippery, and unless you got the perfect action, it's going to go away on you.
2 goals, 3 to Matthew Lloyd. He's kicked 2 behinds in his final term. The Blues put the body over the ball and kick it off the ground. Houlihan again. Tony Jones is boundary side and wet.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, no, as you said, that bank of lights has gone. Look, to the naked eye, it hasn't made too much of a difference. But I don't hear too many people bagging Telstra Dome. At least they've got lights on a roof.
Throw in.
I'll stop your whinging.
Johnson over the top of the ball, under pressure. Great play. Carlton have got the numbers though. Beaumont just thumps it onto the boot and kicks it long. Favola's got to the front here, got underneath the pack. Off the hands, here's Lappin. Lappin looks up, has a shot at the goal. Won't come back enough. It's a point.
Playing on the half-forward line now, Lappin.
Sorry, Dermot. 6 minutes to go in the game. It's a 10-point ball game.
Short one to the pocket. Welsh. Bombers need a quick goal now. Time the enemy. Oh, terrible. White over the top did well. Knocked it down to Hickmott. Turns around and kicks a goal. His second.
And they are very, very deserving leaders at this stage of the game, and you would much rather be in their position than the Bombers. And I tell you what, some of their young boys have taken a giant step forward tonight. And you talk about Waite, you talk about Davies and Fisher. And down the back end you had Thornton. And that is just unforgivable from, I think it was young Welsh.
Yes.
Big question here. For the first 10 minutes of this last quarter, James Hird stood at full forward. Now, I know he can't run all night, and he's been fantastic, but you think he'd need.
So the Blues have kicked 4 goals this quarter to 1 and now lead by 16 points. Could it be a match-winning lead? Inside 5.5 minutes nearly to go in this game. Out comes Mercury. He's been quiet, needs to turn something on. McKay brings him to ground, will give him a free kick. Carlton cheer squad going nuts.
He tapped it out.
They haven't sung the old Lily of Laguna since round 21 against the Dogs when they won by 2 points at Telstra Dome. It's been a long time between songs for Carlton.
Umpire not quite right.
Essendon 21 free kicks, Carlton 20. Mercury goes short. Ramanauskas is the man who has it. Now the Rama hasn't been too flash tonight. He's kicked 1 goal, 4. Needs to kick this one. The Bombers still have time to kick the 3 goals required to snatch this game.
He's a good solid kicking action.
9th possession for the quarter for Adam Ramanauskas. He comes in. Left foot kick is a sliced kick. It comes back. It comes back. It's at the post. Hit the post. 1 goal, 5 to Adam Ramanauskas.
There's been some heroes for Carlton in this second half of footy. Camporelli found a lot of it, worked hard, pushed himself. He's been very good tonight.
Kicks in, spots Beaumont. Camporelli, 26 possessions last week. Career high 44 against Port Adelaide, round 6 of 2000. Ball to the wing. Whitnell was up. McCormick quickly to his feet. Kicks it high, it floats down towards half forward. Waits.
Been good.
Yeah, eyes only for the footy that time. He's got it just short of the wing. Essendon behind and flooding back. White kicks inside the 50. In front Lappin. Favola missed it. Houlihan goes off the ground intelligently. Jason Johnson over the footy in trouble. Fletcher deftly. Cupido with the outside of the boots. Well, it may be darkest down there in front of the light tower number 5, and we've got a free kick to Spawn, who jabs it in short, barely the 15. Beaumont, not a bad spot judging by what Houlihan was able to do about 5 minutes ago.
Pressured on the scoreboard there. The Essendon player Cupido. He's tried for great big torpedo, looking for yardage or meterage at this time of the game. And the drop punt was in order.
Best game I've seen Ryan Houlihan play, I think, for this footy club.
Margin 15 points. The goal here will just about sink the Bombers. He's pulled it behind.
Well, they have a mountain of work to do, the Bombers, from here. They just don't look like it at the moment. I don't think you can get clean enough possession to score the goals they need in this short period of time.
Yep, they need 3 goals in 3 minutes and 20 seconds as the clock keeps ticking. Time the enemy. Mercury takes the mark. McKay holds him up. 10th possession for Mark Mercury. It's going to be a turnover. No, Peveril gets over. Might just open up for the Bombers here. Peveril concedes some ground to his skipper, who just dances around. The kick was a beauty down Solomon's throat. Last roll of the dice for Bombers. They must kick a goal here. Rowley runs into the open goal. He's kicked 2 goals, 3. Make that 3 goals, 3, and the Bombers are still in it.
I don't know whether it's a cool head or whether James Hird is a little bit injured out there feeling the effects of last week, or whether he's just dog-tired, but he stopped to a walk there and he just did it simply, and that actually opened up the entire centre of the ground because everybody was feigning out to the right the direction he was running.
Most important part of the play was his ability to come back inside, and that's what they've got to do, just take plenty of risks, take the shortest route home.
So Carlton by 10 points. Can they remember how to win a big one? Up goes French, came back to him. McCormick out of the middle, kicks down towards half forward. Plenty of Essendon players there. Fletcher spilt it, found it again, kicks through midfield. McCormick comes in. Hill lunge. McCormick did well. Camporelli, Hird got him, took him down. John out of there. Jason Johnson straddled an opponent, tried to give it across to McPhee. Socket off the ground by Houlihan down towards half forward. Peveril put the body in. So too for Bowler. Socket off the ground by Mercury. Upended was McKay. Mercury tracks it out towards left half back. He's hobbled. He's got the ball in his defensive area. Looks towards the middle. Very short. Welsh. Hand pass to Peveril. Jams it on the boot. Nobody at home. Missed on the wing by Wade. It's coming back though. Kicks to half forward. Just hold it up. That's all you need to do.
Fletcher's hurt himself then.
Hickmott has the ball. He's 65 metres out here. He will take as long as he possibly can to kick it. The clock keeps ticking. Carlton leading by 10 points. Bombers need to kick 2 goals to win the game. Hickmott kicks forward, up towards full forward, off the hands of the pack. Lappin tried to grab it, it's picked up by Rioli. Rioli who kicks wide. Out of bounds, throw in, but that is as good a spot as you'd want it, as Carlton will take the throw in their forward 50. 1 minute and 36 seconds left. Dustin Fletcher's been hit from pillar to post tonight. Been a tough one for the Bombers. Injuries to Wellman. Fletcher's out there sore, Hurd sore. A couple of incidents.
They
will
need
be looked
Hurd.
at during the week.
Clean hands here, that's what they need.
Houlihan off the ground. In the back, free kick to Hickmott, and that could just about be the game against Dustin Fletcher.
Well, he used his legs in, I reckon, Eddie, because he hurt his shoulder in that when I called it earlier. He just, this one here, that's where he hurt his shoulder. And
Nick Holland motion, that's how Nick put his shoulder out.
He's been carrying it ever since, and he got into this situation and he just couldn't put it up, so he stuck his boot out.
I called Whitnell, and of course is I called Hickmott, it is of course Lance Whitnell, who's kicked 3 goals, 5 after starting the night, kicking 5 consecutive behinds.
Coming off Fletcher.
Big comeback for Lance. This to put the icing on the Carlton cake in what has been a remarkable underdog victory tonight for the Navy Blues.
9th shot at goal, Ed.
In comes Lance Whitnell. Point.
It's ruined everything, Lance.
Well, let's call it 3 goals, 6. He's kicked 4 goals.
He's had a good night, Lance. He's had a really good night.
Taking 9 marks up there.
What's it mean for the Bombers?
Oh, look at that.
Another loss. Driven down the middle. Solomon hit on the scone. Bounces across to Spawn. Slips. Regains his balance. Hooks it around the corner. Camporelli missed it. McKay kicks inside the 50. Houlihan, who's been such a live wire, tries to pull it back across his body and puts it out of bounds on the full. But not a bad spot for this situation to develop. 23 seconds to go. And this is money in the bank now. So Dennis Pagan, his first victory with the Blues. Lucas to the wing. Jacobs plays on. Scrambles a kick towards half forward. Pitches. Hill missed it. Rioli, who's been good. Mark Johnson missed it. Camporelli happy just to kick it up towards the wing. Hurd in trouble. Tries to paddle it out. Spawn takes it across the line. There's the siren.
Great win.
Carlton win for the first time this season. They win for the first time under that man, Dennis Pagan.
Well, the Blues got to sing the song just 3 times last year, and there is a blue bagger.
It's a wet bagger.
Congratulations to the Carlton faithful. They're up around the 30,000 members. And that is fantastic, coming off the wooden spoon last year. Let's go down to Tony Jones. He's with one of the stars of the night.
Yes, thanks very much. Well, they are quite literally singing in the rain down here, and nice to hear that song again, Cooter.
It is. We waited round 3, I guess, where the boys worked really hard, and half-time, after half-time, we had to put in an extra effort, and we did.